Come on. Okay, we're live. We're good to go. Yes. Wonderful. All right. Okay, we're good. So let me start the show. And good evening, good evening, good evening. This is your girl Yvonne Michelle, and we are streaming this evening from Facebook and YouTube and Love Zone Radio as well tonight. We are here for After Dark, the adult relationship show. So just before everyone starts to come in and starts to get I'm just going to explain to you what tonight is about. So last week we had an all-male room, and we were asking what are men attracted to? What are the key elements that men are attracted to in women? Now we are talking about the over 40s here. And so if you are 40 plus, then this is the show for you. And so we were looking at the men. If we can put our mics on straight away as we come in, that would be great. Oh, yeah, okay, wonderful. And so this week, so we found out a lot about men last week. We did find out a lot about men. This week, we have the women in the Zoom room. We are going to be discussing what women are looking for, what attracts a woman to a man. And then a little bit later on, the men are going to join us as we joined them last week in the Zoom room. And we're going to have an open and candid discussion and see if we can get any more closer, any more resolutions or understandings as to why there is such a big gap in the dating scene for the over 40s. Why are we finding it so difficult? Why? What is it? What is it about? Is it our age? Is it our expectations? What is it that we are experiencing or going through? Why we cannot, seem to come together? We know that we've had the lockdown and we know that things are beginning to open up again. So we want to be prepared. We're ready to meet some eligible men. And I'm sure that they are ready to meet some eligible women. So tonight is the night. It's all about the talk. It's all about the talk. Last week, I tell you, if you're here, you will enjoy it. We have some real good times. Seriously. It's always stay to the end as well. Always stay to the end if you can, because we don't want you to miss out on anything. We want you to enjoy the show. So I'm just getting myself set up and I'm just putting on the chat so that we have the chat and that we're able to talk and see what's going on in YouTube and also Facebook. Yes, we're going to do that. So, okay, so we're just waiting for the women to come in. This is great. We're waiting for the women to come in to the room so that we can start the show. So we've got some women in. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. We've got some women in the Zoom room already, and we're going to have a quick conversation with them to find out how they are today. Okay, let's have a look at where we are. There we go. Let's put you back here. There we go. Right, we are here. Okay, let me just check that we've got everything working out. Oh, what's going on here? Hold on, let me get rid of that. So that. Right, I'm just checking that we are live in Facebook. We are. And are we live in YouTube? Fantastic. Right, so ladies, where you're at? Where are the ladies? Come on, ladies, it's 10:05. What's going on? Anyway, I'm gonna we've got Faye in the Zoom room, so I'm gonna bring Faye in this evening. You wanna unmute yourself, darling?
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. Here we go.
Good news about earlier. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think we've got some of the men. They don't listen, you know.
They're eager to be.
Hi, Stephen. It's not your time, darling. Hi, Stephen. Right, so we can't hear you, but I'm hoping that you can hear me. Just to let you know that the men are not coming in the Zoom room. It's an hour. Just an hour. So you come back, you've got all the details, come back in an hour. Stay on Facebook though, we want to see your comments. Okay, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Does that work now?
Yes, it does.
I'm clearing off now then. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay. See you later. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're coming in. We're coming in now. The ladies are coming in. Yes, 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 yes. The women are coming in. Okay, so I was just talking to Faye. So Faye, how have you been? How has your week been, first of all?
Good. I've had a week off. I'm having a week off this week. So,
okay.
But I am in the process of clearing and decorating and clearing my space. So I'm still busy. But it's been good.
It's good to be busy. And how have you, what are your thoughts? I mean, we'll come back to you. So in terms of your thoughts from last week,
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me just one of your thoughts from last week?
I kind of got stuck on the whole dressing for men kind of thing. I was still, you know, sort of processing that in my head. And yeah, I mean, some of the points obviously were very valid that the men made about attractiveness and things like that. But I still think that men are very visual people. And that is the first thing that for a man, I think that's the first thing that leads them onto a woman. For a woman, I think it's slightly different, and we'll get the opinions later on, but we'll see.
Okay, so I'm going to come to Lakeisha because she's new to the group. Hi, my darling, how you doing?
I'm very, very well. I'm very well. And just so you know, it's Leisha.
Oh, it's Leisha.
It's all right. Everyone makes the mistake. So I always just say it there now. So
Lakeisha for so long. Sorry, darling. Leisha.
That's okay.
Okay, lovely to have you here, my darling.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to see. I can see the Bajan and the Jamaican flag at the back.
Just speaking, you know?
Okay, it's all good. Well, be welcome, be free tonight to express yourself. We're going to be talking open and candidly about this. So I want you to, I wish people would stop calling me because the show has started. It's too late to get to whatever you want. It's too late. The show has started. So, okay, so I'm going to bring in Shalomi. And as more people come in, I think we might have a good 10 women because I want to keep the numbers of the women down so that we can all get to hear. And then the men will, obviously, they'll start talking and coming in a little bit later. So, Shalomi, good evening. I can't hear you, darling. You're on mute. You're muted.
Okay. Hello, good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm great. Still single, but great.
Well, we hope to change the singleness of the women here tonight. We do hope to change that, but who knows? Who knows? But I want to thank you for, now Shalomi's been here from week 1. It's week 1, isn't it, Shalomi? Yes.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Yeah.
Shalomi is the bomb. Shalomi has won the golden mic many a time.
Oh,
with her
Lord.
lyrics. But she dropped lyric.
Yeah.
So here we go. So we're letting some more ladies in. And I'm gonna kick off shortly. I'm not gonna wait for people to turn up. Hello, my darling, how you doing? How you doing? Let's see if your mic's working.
Hey.
Wonderful. How you doing, Carol?
I'm good. It's Lolly. I'm a Lolly tonight.
You're Lola tonight?
Yes, it's Lolly tonight.
Tonight, anyway. Let me not go down that road.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's joined me today.
Yeah, this is the style, I think. The style of the season.
Yes,
Right.
it's
I'm getting messages to send the link. The link.
yeah. A bit late now.
Okay, so, and good evening, as I don't want to put the link in chat anymore. You already know why. So let me just do this.
Shalomi.
Hello.
Long time no see.
Why
Ruth,
am I there?
you're all looking gorgeous tonight.
That's right. Keep talking.
So pretty up, everyone. Pretty, looking nice.
I do try.
All right.
Yes.
So who have we not spoken to? Destiny. Let me say good evening.
Good evening.
Good
evening.
Thank you for joining another Barbados in the house again tonight. I've got 2 Barbadian flags tonight. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Let me say hi to Ruth Carter. Hello this evening. Good evening. How art thou? Just checking that your mic is working.
Evening, everyone. I'm good. I'm very good.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. And Lorraine Bailey.
Hello.
Say hi. Yeah, I can hear you. Wonderful.
Another Bayesian.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 in the Zoom room tonight. All right, men. You're going to have a touch of Barbados tonight.
Yeah.
Are you ready for it? Can you handle it? That's the question.
Can they handle it? Yeah.
Okay, right. So tonight we are kicking off this evening, ladies. The men are coming into the room in about an hour and 15 minutes time. So we have to talk openly, candidly about what attracts us to men. Now, men in Facebook, listen carefully. And I'm going to, I'm saying that with a little bit of force to listen, because one of the things that I identified last week, and I did mention it in the show, was the fact that when we had made a statement as women, the men were not listening and were disagreeing based on their own feelings and their own thoughts. They weren't actually paying attention to what we were saying from our own point of view. So, which then leads me to think that maybe this is the reason why there's a disparity in terms of how we are communicating as men and women. Maybe this is the reason why we're not getting on or we're not connecting in partnerships, because it is easier. No, it is most of the time human beings think or listen to respond. They don't listen to actually hear what has been said. Now that's human beings across the board. That's not just men. But men, I want you to be listening today, no matter what impression you have, no matter what experiences you've had. We have a set of women in this group here who are over the full 40-ish age group. and we are saying this is how we are. So what we want you to do now is listen and accept what we say, because that is going to be the first step to us actually getting on, right? Because that was a disappointment for me last week. I have to say that. I looked and I watched this thing over and over again, and I was just a little bit disheartened at the fact that that had to be pointed out before you realised actually you're dismissing what we're saying, all right? And ladies, be warned, listen. When the men come in, listen to them. Yes, Lorraine.
I just wanted to say quickly, I don't know if you know, but on average, we can concentrate on what someone's saying for about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
So I reckon for men, it's probably more like 3.
Oh, well, okay. Oh. Good evening, Tisha.
Hi.
Good evening. Lovely to have you here. And we have the golden mic. Veronica has the golden mic tonight. We're doing it like that, girls. We're doing it like that. We've upgraded. Golden mic. So don't be afraid to drop the lyrics tonight, men.
Oh, yeah.
We're ready for you. All right, so the question is, what attracts you as a woman to a man? What is it that attracts you? So we're going to kick off tonight, and I'm going to, who wants to go first? I don't want to pick anybody out. Who wants to go first? Who's feeling brave and bold and fearless? All right, okay, Faye, go for it. So so everyone put yourselves on mute so that we don't get too much feedback. Okay, and Faye, let us know what you're thinking.
Okay. Evening, everybody. Lovely to be in the chat room. I was a bit quiet last week, but I'm going to try and be a bit more vocal this week. But for me, I thought about this question long and hard, and I from my own history, I know that I'm not really a physical attractiveness. I don't have that physical attractiveness to someone. I have something. I could look at somebody and it could be anything on that person's. It could be their smile, it just could be something, or it just could be their aura that I'm attracted to, first and foremost. So the next thing is for me is conversation. And I like a man who can give me intelligent conversation. We can have good banter back and forward. We can laugh together, and something intelligent comes from his mouth. I don't want to hear street talk. I don't want to hear you get me. I don't want to hear bruv. I don't want to hear any of those things. But I'm very quickly turned off by those type of things. So, and it's not because I'm snobbish or anything like that. I don't think anyway. I think it's just because I've grown up and I'm an adult now, and I'm looking for a rest of life partner if that thing exists. So those are the two most important things for me. It has to be something about them that draws me into them, and then in talking to them, and it goes for if we're texting as well. I'm a texter, but I don't like our whole conversation to be on text. I find that nowadays men are some men, I would say, I don't want to generalize, some men, they like to have conversations on text, and for me that doesn't work. We have to have a physical conversation, and text speak doesn't work for me as well. So your conversation out of your mouth as well as what you relay on your text, if you're texting me and it's all in broken street language or text speak, I just don't get interested. So those are the two main things for me.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay, so you're saying smile, aura, intelligent conversation, good banter, you're turned off by street talk, and you're not really into the texting and that little You're like, if I'm saying, how are you, is you don't
Yeah.
want to say H
I don't-
are
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want, yeah, I get you. We're grown ups, yeah? Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Okay, who's going next? Lorraine Bailey, you want to come in? LB, let's come in. Oh, before you start, I do have to say, ladies, you're looking very lovely this evening.
Thank you.
Very, very lovely this evening. I'm loving it like that. Yes, I am. Okay, Miss LB, come in.
My initial attraction is definitely a way a man dresses. I like a man that thinks out of the box with his clothes. If he is the wackiest looking person in the room, don't matter. He could have on socks up to his knees with shorts on and braces. He's the man that I'm going to want to talk to, because I just want to know why he's like that. I love that. I love someone that's different. That makes me want to talk to you straight away. And they've got to have like a stance about them, an aura, a confidence. That makes me want to talk to you too. So for me, that is an attraction. His smell. And do you know what? Believe it or not, my friends take the mickey out of me because of this. I like a big, meaty guy. It doesn't matter if he's muscly or fat. Can be fat. I don't care. I used to have a crush on Fat Joe, on what's his name? I can't remember the other rapper, the dark big one. Yeah. Who? You're muted.
Hold on.
Oh, I said, Fat Joe. I kind of worked out
Who did they say?
He was like a rapper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about a current one as well that I like now. He's big and black and he wears loads of jewelry. Anyway, I like big men. It doesn't matter if they're big in width or height, but they've got to be big. I don't want no man who I can fit in his jeans. Nah. I want to feel small and timid in his arms. That's very, very sexy to me.
Wow.
And if he starts off small in size, I will feed him up. I'm a feeder. He won't stay slim.
Okay.
I like a man who can dance. That's very attractive also.
Mm-hmm.
And once I get to know them, because nothing will happen with me until I really know you, how he treats his mum, if she's still alive, is a big thing for me. How he treats his mum and his sisters and his children. That's also very attractive.
Okay.
And a gorgeous smile. I've probably got a list of about 50 things, so I'm going to stop there.
Well, then you know that Tony's going to jump on you when he comes in the room, because that's what he says. Women have loads and loads and loads and loads.
Tony ain't jumping on me. I'm too mager.
Did you hear that, Tony? Tony's in the group. He said Biggie Smalls. That's what he said. That's what Tony said.
These are things that I find attractive. One man doesn't have to have all these things. They're just things that I find attractive. He can just have one or two of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He doesn't have to have them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a key thing, actually. I'm glad you said that. He doesn't have to have it. These are the different elements, the different traits that you find attractive. I'm glad you said that. Okay. Who's coming in next, ladies? Come on in, Tisha. Let's go for it.
Hi. Yes, as Lorraine said, they don't have to have all of them, but it's what qualities that you find attractive. So mine, I suppose first of all is confidence. Much like Lorraine, like I love someone who's like the first to get up and dance at a club. Because I'm that person. I love that person. Dresses really uniquely, and again, that's a form of confidence. Also humor. I love to laugh. I want someone, ideally, is young at heart, someone's fun, and just a laugh really to be around. Drive is good as well. So ambition. They don't necessarily have to be where they want to be, but they have to have, it would be nice if they got a plan or a dream. And I suppose that falls into passion. I really love someone who's passionate about something. So it could be anything. It could be like a particular food, or I don't know, a car or something like that. Because I really love to learn. And if someone's passionate about something, that kind of passion rubs off on me, and I really love that. Then we've got vulnerability as well. Someone who's open and open to share what issues they're going through or what they've been through, because that allows other people to be vulnerable as well. And what I've learned of late, actually, consistency. I find that really attractive. So when I'm trying to get to know someone and we start talking, and if they're consistent, that can allow me to I suppose build trust, and I find that really attractive. So that's my little list of things that I find attractive.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Tisha. Thank you very much. Who's coming in? The quicker we do this, the more we can get into discussions. Is that you, Ruth?
Yeah.
Okay, Ruth.
Am I on?
Yeah, Ruth, is it you, Shalomi, after? Shalomi coming after. All right.
Evening, everyone. Quickly, I like attracted to a man who has charisma, who is spiritual on some form of platform. I like a man who is grateful, kind-hearted. I like someone who has a vision and a plan for his life, his family, career, those types of things. And someone who has really good social skills, which includes good communication, who's flexible, adaptable in different situations, someone who has a light-hearted spirit, doesn't take, things too seriously, but is a leader as well. I like men who've got, leadership qualities, has direction, knows where they're going, is a protector. A family man who looks after his children and is positively involved in his children's life. One of the things, my top peeve I don't like is arrogance. I don't tend to lean towards arrogant attitudes. And that's me in a nutshell, very quickly.
Well, that was very quick.
Yes, we've got a lot to get through.
We do. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Shalomi, come in.
Well, first of all, appearance, because something I have to attract to the guy. I like tall men and I like them dark. So I'm in a box when it comes to how they look. Looks have a lot to do with me liking someone. I'm being honest. I do not have a list. I have expectations and I have standards. I don't call it lists, right? I have expectation. I will not talk to a guy that have a history of child molestation. I don't care how much he changed. There are certain things that I expect. A people person, once they're a people person, family person, not much, as I said. That you have to be tall, 6 feet or more. Yeah, I don't expect much. Yeah, as I go along, we learn. We all have our flaws, and we just have to agree to disagree. And I hear a lot of people say compromise, depending what people call compromise, because I don't compromise much when it comes to my standard, integrity, and certain things. If you don't like chocolate and you want chocolate, I'll give you. That's, for me, that's compromise. If I don't eat pork and you want me to cook pork, I'll compromise. But there are certain things that when it comes to my children, it's no compromising. And I don't put people in a box. My children are my children. My man is my mom. My mama is my mama. There's no line, no section. Everybody has their own place. So for me, I don't really require much, to be honest. There's somebody that outgoing, people person, hygienic, tall, dark, love life, respect people, a bit crazy like myself. That's it. Not much.
Okay, thank you, Shalomi. Thank you very much. Right, so just to clarify, because I think there was a question It is about initial attraction, but we have to widen that out, because we did with the men last week, and there was five tips or 5 other elements of attraction that we are going to look at, which will come in. So you can put it in any order that you want. I am making notes. I'm writing this down so that we don't forget what has been said. But I want you to remember that we are, it's our own preference what we are looking for in a partner. So Leisha, would you like to come in?
Thank you. Okay, just kind of, I went through the list in my head of guys I've been out with already. And none of them were alike in regards to looks, height, weight at all. They were all completely different. So I know I don't have a type in regards to sort of looking at a man. I think again it's about whether where I meet them, so if it's a nightclub or out and about, then yeah, it's them to kind of be able to.
Okay, Leisha, can you just talk up a little bit, because you're going a bit quiet, and I don't know if it's me.
No worries, no worries. Is that a bit better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So I like a man who can dance, dress well, smells good, preferably is employed legally. Yeah, and doesn't have a street hustle. I'll be honest with you. An illegal street hustle. I'll be honest, because that tends to be a bit of a trend. But I like a man with a plan. In that respect, if I was to sort of ask him what his dreams and goals and aspirations were, like how are you going to achieve that? And independently, so not relying on anyone to help him get there in that respect, or a woman or reliance. And I don't do money or lending of money when it comes to men and relationships. I think that that's a big no-no for me. So I don't really have a list per se. I think it's just more to do with, like I said, the way, just general hygiene and cleanliness and morals, ethics, values, family, like I said, all the stuff that's kind of been said already. Family man, how he treats his mum, how he treats the females around him. And for me, one of the big questions that I do ask men is why their other relationships have failed. Because again, you can hear quite a lot, whether they're domestic violence or, either which way, from the woman or from the man, arguments, drama, staying out late. They give you all the bad stuff in regards to the relationships they've been in. And then you can clearly see as to whether they've changed going forward or not. So for me, that's a big question. But yeah, not really fussy. I'm kind of flexible, I'll be honest. Yeah. Mic's on me.
Right, so I've just muted myself, but Sheena's just made it in. Hi, Sheena, you're just making it on time, Thanks, God. Put yourself on mute, sweetie. Right, so, okay, so I've just seen in the thread, Kellyon says, it's not hearing attraction, I'm hearing list. Kellyon, open up your ears, right? Because what they're saying is, you listen to what they're saying. Listen to what we're saying in the room, right? So Shalomi has said hers is attraction. She likes a man who is tall. She likes a man who is dark. You can't say that's a list. That's not a list, right? Again, Leisha said, what attracts her is the way that the man dresses. It's a visual thing. Yeah, it's what he looks like, how he's dressed. Lorraine said the same thing. Faye said she likes a smile. Wasn't it smile and eyes last week? Right, so what I'm saying, guys, listen, right. Listen with your ears, yeah? And don't listen to think or to respond, but listen to learn, right? It's really, really important. And this is why we're not getting further in our relationships, is because we are listening to respond. We're not listening to learn. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so Carol Lorraine, what was it again? You said Lolly to call you this week. Sorry. Come in. you're next. Sorry, darling.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. What attracts me to men? It's not a list per se, as you know. Everybody seems to think it's a list that we have. I mean, as some of the other ladies says, it's about dress sense. They have to have some sort of aura about them that attracts me to a man. Some sort of aura, their smile, you know, the way they dance, the way they move, you know, standards, family standards, how they treat their family and their parents as well, you know, their sisters, their brothers, you know, someone that's family orientated, that, you know, someone that loves to laugh, have a joke, you know, they have to have certain standards, you know, and don't take the Michaels, you know, be honest.
Be honest.
Be honest.
Oh, honest.
Be honest. Be honest. What if you got something to say? Say what you have to say and stop hiding behind things. Just talk, no matter what. You have to have that conversation and get through things. You know, so you know, a sense of style as well. Sense of, you know, just, you know, I think conversation is always the key to a relationship. And how you vibe with that person, you know, and I do like a tall man.
Okay, does he have to be dark? Does he light? Anything? I think you're frozen. Are you frozen, Lorraine? I think she's frozen. Yeah. Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear. I think you froze. I was just saying, can it be tall? Is it? You said tall, but can it dark, light, middle?
It doesn't have to be dark or light. You know, as long as
no preference. Just that he's tall.
Yeah, tall. It could be dark. It could be light. You know, and you know, good manners. You know. So yeah.
Okay, so you're going into Daleks now, Lorraine. Lolly, put it on your Zoom. It might be helpful to me because I'm trying to remember everybody near. All right. Okay, so Karen, come in, my darling. Unmute. That's it. Lovely.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hey, honey.
Another Bajan in the house.
Mm-hmm. There's so many Bajans tonight.
I'm sorry, Kellyanne, but I have a list. Because I don't know how you expect me to tell you more than one thing and then you get vexed about list. I don't understand that. Anyway, so if we're talking initial attraction, I could kind of go into some place and just scan the room and pick out the ones that I'm attracted to. Yeah. And for me, it's like if they're engaging with other people, how they, you know, a bit of sense of style, a bit of swagger, but not like too over the top, but just kind of like an understated, je ne sais quoi, something going on. But if they're gonna like come and talk to me, I like a smile, I like twinkly eyes, I like men who could look me in my eyes and talk to me with confidence, because it doesn't always happen, trust me. I like someone who's engaging and communicative and likes to talk, because I like to talk. Not just any old waffle, but, you know, have an intelligent conversation. EQ is very important to me. And I like when the person is, you know, emotionally able to connect to myself. I have looked at some guys dancing and thought, ooh, that's a nice guy. So being able to dance as well is not necessarily overly important going forward, but at least initial attraction. That's what I like. And then to actually keep me engaged, I like people who are fun, ambitious, they're creative, think outside the box. I don't like anyone who's too much of a stickler for rules. I don't want a lawbreaker, but I don't like if something says don't go down there and I feel like quickly, you know, going and having a bit of a peep or doing things that are slightly, wrong. I don't mind that. Yeah, I like men who are generous because I am very generous. I am a giver, and I like someone who have to think about it. They're just on it. And I like celebrating birthdays and every little thing. I just like celebrating life. I like to live a life of gratitude, and I like my partner to be the same, very excitable. I like men who have direction because I do. I kind of know where I want to go and what I want to do. So I would like that. And I like a man who's conscious. And with that, I don't mean religious because I'm not religious. And I don't really think I could really go with anyone who is religious like that. I can't really do that. But I like someone who's conscious and takes accountability for their behavior and the way that they treat other people. That's it. That's my list, Kellyanne.
Okay, so you like, I heard you say that you like twinkly eyes, you like to watch men, and you like to see how they engage with other people, and that is what you find attractive. You're like someone who's confident, who can talk, is emotionally connected, which would come a little bit later, good dancer, a risk taker. Here, someone who's generous, grateful, and has direction, and is a conscious brother that is aware. Okay, who else is coming in? Destiny, let's bring you in. Hello.
Greetings, everyone.
Good evening.
Can you hear me? Yeah, got a bit of a dodgy tooth, so bear with me.
Okay.
Yeah, what sticks out with me with a gentleman, should I say? Okay, he's got to be well groomed first of all. Okay, his groom sense is important. It's really, really important how he dresses, how he looks after himself. His appearance it has to be paramount. Yeah. No slapdash looking, you know, if you're going to be formal, you know, have a good dress sense. He has to be a good engager in conversation. Don't let me keep talking. Don't like to hear the sound of my own voice. You've got to feed back to me. You've got to relate back to me in any topic. Good sense of humor. He's got to have charisma as well. Yeah. Be charming, be a gentleman when you need to be a gentleman. And it is really important that a man is spiritual on my level as well. So those are the things that really stick out for me when looking for a gentleman, looking for a man. He also has to be sensitive. Don't think that he's going to have to be hard. Yes, a man can be hard, but be sensitive as well when it comes to being, you know, having a little cry sometimes, you know, be sensitive. Has to be educated, doesn't matter what level. Have some kind of rapport where I can talk to you on an educated level as well. And listening is really important. I just can't stand a man that just interrupts all the time. Can't take it. So, you know, you've got to be an active listener. Yeah, don't interrupt. Take what I'm saying on board. Listen to the woman's perspective, and then you can interact with me on that basis. Yeah. You must also have some good family values. That is very important. Also have a good relationship with your mother. If your mother's still around, that's good. And how you relate to coming into someone's family. Say, for instance, yes, if I'm a lone parent, of course, how you engage with the children eventually, doesn't matter what age they are. And yeah, you've got a good sense of home life, really. And that's it. You know, good conversationalist, and the list can go on, but I'm not a fussy person. I'm very articulate in what I say, but still, you know, I'm down to earth. So that person has to be on my level as well.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay, Sheena, we're going to bring you in. What are your thoughts in terms of what are you attracted to, you personally?
Me like men with money. No. No, they, to me.
Is that joke? Am I writing this down?
No, don't. Well, it helps, innit? They need to have some kind of money behind them.
You dropped the mic, man, already.
You know what I mean? They need to have some kind of money behind them. You know, life is hard, man. But yeah, I like equality. So I like it, for me, it's a 50-50 with the man, right? But then for me, I like a man who's got a nice smile, eyelashes as well. I like my middle eyelashes,
Oh,
long eyelashes, and yeah, just voice as well. I like the voice because the voice can be attractive as well. It has to be an attractive voice. Yeah, the voice that kind of like reins you in, you know, that welcomes you in. And I
mm,
like my man to be strong, can take care of business. And I don't like Marga man, so they got to be quite stocky, and you know that they can handle me because I'm quite a solid girl myself. Yeah,
mhm.
and they got to have a really good sense of humor because I'm a bubbler. I'm a bubbler, and my man needs to be a bubbler as well. Someone who's outgoing, who just loves life, and you know, just has like a good friendship with people as well. And he, you know, he's got to have women friends as well. I always worry when men don't have women friends. Yeah. So to me, again, that's important, and that they just love life.
Mhm.
Yeah. Smell good. My list could go on and on. That they have to smell good, look crisp, dress well. Man that can cook as well, because I don't always want to cook. So
Well,
it's about
yeah, but
sharing the
we're
cooking as
talking
well.
about initial attraction, so that would come after.
All right, so scrap out the cooking part, but yeah, definitely. I've got a thing about eyelashes and eyes and the smile, and that they smell and look good.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's for me. And the voice as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. Right, Veronica, are you answering? Are you coming in? No, no, just to let you know that Veronica helps me. She does a lot of the stuff and sends out stuff. So Veronica is in, and she will be in with the men next time as well. So she's doing a lot of stuff. So Veronica said, "You sure you don't want to tell us what you're attracted to?" She's gonna unmute. Okay, come on.
I attracted to my husband.
She's attracted to her husband. There you go. Ta-da! Veronica, there you go. You dropped the mic. All right. Okay. So we're looking at what you like. So as I put it out to the men, there are 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only got 4 elements. Oh, and oh yeah, and physical. There are 5 points. There are 5 key elements to attraction. You have proximity, which means that distance has an impact in how you feel about that person, or whether or not you would be attracted to that person because of the proximity of that person. Then you've got reciprocity. I think I've said it right. And that's where it's a receptacle thing, that's what attracts you, that the man gives you as much as you give him. Then there's familiarity. Now that could be something like culture, that you're familiar, there's a familiar connection that you have. Then there is similarity, which is more about the way that you think and that you act. And then you have the physical attraction. So I want you to think about the answers that you've given, and just think about what differences those things would make to, thank you, Tony. I've been practicing. Because I couldn't say the word last week. I was saying, I'm not even going to say what I was saying last week, because I'll get back into that old habit. And we're creating new habits. All right. So I want you to think about these things. And I think to a degree, some of it's been covered, but what I'm asking you, would it make a difference? So if you, for instance, Lorraine, LB, right? If you met somebody, because you quite clear about the things that you like in a man in terms of what you see, and you met the guy, and then you realize that the guy lived in Scotland, would that make a difference, or would you go?
Nah, forget it. I ain't going to Scotland. It's cold up there, man. Nah, that's too far. I ain't going on no flight to see no man. And because the thing about me, men don't come to my house. I've got children and I know they're grown now, but I just don't have man come to my yard. So I don't know how I'm going to see him, because I'll be going to him and I'm not going to Scotland. No.
Okay.
If it's within a 2-hour drive, I'm cool with that. He would have to be something really special. He would have had to reel me in bad for me to go more than 2 hours drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So in thinking of this, ladies, I'm just putting it, what would, you know, because there's a lot of you, there's more of you in the room than what we had with the men, because I think we just had 4, but we've got 3, 6, 9, there's 12 of us in this room. That's very significant. 12. Leisha, come in.
Thank you. Okay, so I've had long distance relationships. I don't live in London, but I tend to go out in London. So if I do meet someone, chances are they're either from London or South London a lot of the time. I also had a relationship where my partner lived in Holland. So I would fly to go visit him a couple of times a month. In regards to like the giving element, I'm a very giving person in general. I'm not a giver of gifts. I don't buy people stuff. I don't see the value just in presents, if that makes sense. I'm a giver of energy, time, conversation, food, a good laugh. I like cars, you know, that sort of thing. So I'll be outside with the blokes or with the guy fixing cars and that sort of thing. So I'm that woman in regards to the giving. Let me give you parts of me and what I'm good at, rather than the things I can do for you or the things I can acquire for you. Familiarity, culture, yeah, definitely. I've got locks, but it's not a deal breaker if the man hasn't got locks, but he has to respect my reasons for having locks. That's a biggie for me. I'm not cutting them for you. I'm not that woman. I wear makeup as much as I don't wear makeup, for example. So, but yeah, I definitely think that the culture of Rastafari, or the belief in some way, has to play some importance of his life. Again, I heard someone say they couldn't do something religious. I personally couldn't do religion. I don't sign up to a religion. I don't conform to a religion. I've got a lot of influences there. So I think they need to respect the fact that I'm partly Buddhist. I like that sort of thing. And there are different elements of religion that I respect. So I think he needs to have that historical kind of knowledge about himself in order to be able to match me there, and not feel intimidated by my culturalism, for more than want of a better word. Again, similarity. I want someone who takes care of themselves in regards to the food they eat. I will not cook pork. You will not bring pork to my house. I don't want to be near swine. I don't eat meat in general. So preferably someone who was attempting to become a vegan, or even would consider cutting out meat during a period of time in his life. I would like someone who also fasts periodically or intimately in their life as well, to bring themselves closer to spirituality, self, that sort of thing. And then physically, I like to keep myself fairly fit. So whether that be gym, running around with nieces, nephews, whatever it may be. But yeah, to physically match my energy and match my appearance. So I don't mind if you're a larger man, but as long as you're a healthy larger man, you ain't catching no heart attack in my bedroom with me. So I've been out with large guys, and he was 22 stone when I met him. 5 years of being with me, he went down to 17 stone. And that was through his choice. That's because he realized he couldn't keep up. So if you want to be with me, you got to be healthy. And when I say keep up, I don't mean just keep up sexually. I mean in life. I walk really quickly. I move. I'm active. So you're not going to be a couch potato with me.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Can I just say this? Ladies and gentlemen, can you at this moment just get your mobile phones and share this program on your networks, please? Let's do this because we want this to grow. We want this to get syndicated. We want it to move and grow. We've got a really good following. We've been doing this since lockdown, and we want this to progress, and we want to take this show further. So please, those of you who are on Facebook, those of you who are on YouTube, please share this with your networks, your social media networks. Please do that for me right now. Thank you very, very, very much. Okay, so who else is coming in? Who else is coming in? We've got proximity, reciprocity, familiarity, similarity, and physical attraction. Thank you very much, Mind Over Matter on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Dean Bailey, for being here. Also, Desti, thank you for being here. We've got a few people messaging on YouTube as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for listening. Those of you who are listening on Love Zone Radio, thank you so much for listening in this evening. Those of you who are on Facebook, hi guys, how you doing? Right, okay, so in the Zoom room, back to the Zoom room. Okay, should I give my things of what? Yeah, should I? Because I generally think, well, maybe I shouldn't because I'm the host, but what attracts me to a man is his stature, is how he holds himself within himself. So I'm looking at a man and I'm looking at, because it's the first instance, isn't it? I'm looking at how he holds himself within himself, how he presents himself, his poise, how he looks. I'm looking at his eyes. I'm looking at his head. I'm looking at how he navigates himself around the room. I'm a bit of a people watcher, so I will sit back and I will watch and I will scan a room and I will see a man that I like and I think, and I'll see how he interacts with other people, which when you do internet dating is a real big disadvantage. I don't like it. I'm just going to say I've done it, but I don't like it because I do like to observe a man. I do like to, and then from there, I'm looking at his eyes. I'm looking at his bottom. Nobody said it. I'm looking at his bottom. I'm looking at how the man looks from his head to his toe. I am looking at that. I'm looking to see whether or not he's got a big rolling belly. I'm not interested in a belly. No. Any belly that's bigger than mine can't work for me. No. I'm not in competition. And if he has moobs, if his breasts are bigger than mine, I'm not interested. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. I'm not interested in that. I like a man who looks after himself, and I'm looking at that. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that. And then when it's conversation, what I want to hear is, can you articulate your words? Can you speak? Can you have a conversation that's interesting? Can you? I don't want to hear, yeah, you can tell me that I'm lovely. Tell me that I'm lovely. I like compliments. But after a while, it does do my head in because I want to know what's in here, what's in your brain, what conversations can we talk about? Because when we're together, you can't keep telling me I'm beautiful because I know that already. I know that. Tell me something that I don't know. And that might sound conceited, but when you have it all the time, it gets tiring, right? Okay. What else do I like about a man? I do like a tall man. As long as he's taller than me, which is not hard because I am not tall, right? There's a vertical challenge going on in my life. But he has to be taller than me when I have my shoes on, and my heels can be up to 6 inches, just saying. So if I'm 5'1", because I'm holding on to that one, I'm not quite 1, it's just under 1, but I'm holding on to 1, that means that he ideally should be over 5'7". Now, back in the day, it used to be 6 foot and over, but the personality then comes out. And my number one thing is, where are you going? That's my question. You look in me, I want to know where you're going, because where you're going is where you think you're taking me. And I'm not following I'm just going to say, and I know the men are not going to like what I say, but I'm not following a deadbeat man. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I work too hard. I push hard. I work hard. I play hard. I'm not interested in no deadbeat man that's got no ambition and don't want to do nothing in life. Not interested. So that's just me. And so, again, like I say, if him have a bottom, and can I just say, I'm gonna say this, and the men, you know, the men like breasts, they like bottom. I sometimes, you know, sometimes men don't have no behavior and they sit in front of you. And when they sit in front of you, they open their legs. They do. And I know I'm talking quietly. Commandante's next door. So I'm looking between their foot. Because I want to know what them have. I'm sorry, I'm just telling you the truth. I am telling the truth tonight. And that don't mean to say that I'm going to trouble it, but I want to know what's there, because, and I want to know if it can use well too. Okay, so there's me. I've said my part. And so proximity is a thing. Long distance relationships ain't working for me. I don't want no man that lives a foreign. Sorry, not interested. And I'm not giving you a red book. No. Right, that's one. Similarities in the way we think. Yes, I like that. In terms of personal development and where we're going and what we can achieve and what we can build, very much like that. Familiarity, culture, yes, you must be cultured. You must have some level of spirituality. You must have, I'm not into the going to church, it's not the church thing, but you must have a connection with the source, must. It's must, because I do. And two cannot walk together if they don't agree, and if they're not the same. We will be unequally yoked, and that's not for me. Sorry, I'm not interested. Reciprocity, yes. You give me as much as I give you, I'll be very happy. And I give you as much as you give me, you'll be very happy. So it's a two-way thing. I've already covered distance. And physical, yeah, because once you connect with my brain and my mind, you automatically become physically attracted to me, and I will want to touch you up and feel you up and all of those good things, because we have a connection here. You can't connect with my girl down there if you ain't connected up here, and it's as simple as that. I'm dropping the mic today. I'm out. Who's coming in? Who's coming in after that? Who wants to come in? I'm done. I'm done. Who's coming in? Unmute yourself. Come on, unmute yourself and come in. Oh, Veronica.
I don't like no man with no big things. I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
You don't want to. No, it doesn't have to. I'm not saying it has to be big.
Oh.
But it has to be there, because some very. That can't work. No, I'm not tickling. No.
It also needs to work.
It just needs to work.
It does need to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it don't work, you need to go to the doctors.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's important, because yeah.
Sometimes it works,
I
but
might as well
people don't know what to do with it.
I've just seen what Kellyan's written here. He says, Preacher Fun, man that cross their legs isn't a good sign either. What's he hiding? Yeah. Open up.
Hiding nothing.
He's hiding nothing. Open up, let me see. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so I'm just reading the comments. So guys, what are we looking for? So we've had, look, there's how many of us here? There's 12 of us in here, and there's a lot of similarities. One thing I forgot to say, really key for me, sense of humor. It's really important. Sense of humor. If you can't make me laugh, it ain't gonna last long. I'm telling you. And I'll just say this: one of the best relationships I ever had, and we are still really good friends, was with a man that I was not attracted to physically. he was big. I think I'm quite a sturdy girl in body. Who is it that said they don't want anybody that's smaller than them? Was it you, LB? Yeah, because I feel like I'd break a man, right? So I want somebody that's a little bit sturdy, right? But this guy was really big and I weren't interested, but you know what it was? He made me laugh so much and we got on so well. We became such good friends that the relationship was absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And so because of that, I say, I would like somebody who has a really good sense of humor and who can make me laugh. Right, Andrea Maxwell is saying a sense of humor and honesty. Yes, Andrea, yes, man, that's what we want. It's a fact, yes. And he's got to be able to hold a good conversation. Andrea, tell me, what is it that first attracts you to a man? This is on YouTube. And I think Andrea is from the States, aren't you, Andrea? You were here last week. Thank you for joining us again. Tell me what attracts you. What is the initial attraction to? Do you know what? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to keep it to myself because you know, Tisha say it. Do you know what attracts me to? One more thing that attracts me to a man. I like powerful men. I like powerful, strong, confident men that know their stuff. They're just. I'm here. I know my stuff. This is who I am. That kind of swag, like, yeah, that's for me. Like, and that's why I say, for when you see it, it's like, all right, babes, that can work. And then you play a little hard to get. You know, you play the game because you have to chase me, really. Anyway, I don't want to give out too much information about how you will go about dating me. No. No. Right. Faye, come in, because you're on.
So what other things that attract me? I think for me, I like a man who can fix things. So my dad, who was a carpenter by trade, he was a tradesman. And I used to follow my dad around all the time while he was fixing things. And for me, I have a fascination with men who can fix things. Now, if you're wearing a tool belt, that's another thing. I find that so sexy. I find a man who can get himself under a car, who can fix a toilet, who can hang a shelf. Not to say that I can't do those things myself, but I like if my man can do that for me. Because it's one of the things that I just feel like, and I don't want to sort of say roles here, but I think it's a man's work. And I like when a man can do that. I don't want him to have to phone up somebody every time we need the toilet unblocking. I want him to be able to do that and I can just watch, and I find it so sexy and so attractive. I like a man who's open-minded. I think I'm a very open-minded person, and I don't just take an argument and say, okay, this is how it goes. And I like for us to have that kind of banter where we're thrashing things out and you have your opinion and I have my opinion, and even if we don't agree at the end of it, then at least, you know, we've come to some common ground. I don't want to have to go over and over and over. The other thing, I don't like carrying an argument into another day. I'm if we can't squash the argument there and then we have no argument. Because as far as I'm concerned, we can beg to differ. Even if we just beg to differ on that day, I'm not carrying it over. I'm not going to bed on it, because you just never know through the night. I have a thing about, you know, you just never know what's going to happen in the next hour, in the next minute, in the next second. You just don't know. So for me, if we're having an argument today, and it's not a screaming, shouting argument, I want it to calm itself down and just end. We're going to bed, we're going to sleep, we're both very calm, we're not waking up with it. Right. And that for me are things that are very important. Now, proximity. I actually married a man, I have to say, who was 5,000 miles away from me. Yes, I was one of those ones that picked one up.
Did you do that? Oh my God.
I was one of those ones. And funny enough, when I was younger, I met my first boyfriend when I was 16, and we were together for about 6 or 7 years. And actually, he was the one that kind of taught me how to love, how to have a relationship, how to look after someone. He really did teach me how to do that. And all along, I said, all these years I've been going to Jamaica, and I said, oh no, I'm not picking up one. I'm not picking up no man. I'm not picking up no man. No, me, it's not me. And then I ended up doing that. Now, I would say in my experience, it wasn't a very good experience, apart from the child that we had. And I wouldn't knock it. I think some people abroad, they know what they're doing, they know where they're at. They don't necessarily have to come here for a red book. You can, if you're willing to relocate, you can do that. So there's nothing to be said for that kind of relationship if you're in it. But what I find with proximity is that I'm always prepared to travel. And I find that men are not so. The men that I've dated or met on dating websites, even though they put in their distance of who they're looking for, in reality, that's not who they want. And when I tell people that I live in Luton and they live in South London, they're not prepared to travel. And I find that's a problem in my experience on the men's side and not my side.
Right, that's interesting. Because I think Tony said last week, Tony, I know you're coming in anyway, Tony, but I think Tony said that proximity was really key for him, and he didn't want to travel too far. He wanted to be the person to be quite near him. So yeah, and I think it's reasonable to want that. I do, because I certainly wouldn't want to be traveling all over the world. Well, actually, would I not? I'm a traveller, so I do travel, but not in a relationship, no. Because when me want to see you, me want to see you. Sorry, just right. So we've got some on the YouTube, which is going on. Andrea Maxwell said the first thing that attracts her to a man is his smile. So smile, do you know what? With the men and the women, smile is coming up really high, really, really high. Mind over matter saying if you ask a man about mental health, he will run a mile. So would you say you're looking for understanding of emotions? I think you get to that part. And it's certainly something to be asked. But I think initially when you meet someone, I think most people are looking at the outward appearance, and then they kind of go a little bit further as to what's their swag like, their dress. The smell is really important, because there's nothing worse than a stinking man. So just saying. I'm not meaning to do it this week, ladies, but there's nothing worse than a stinking armpit man. Anyway, that's me. Lorraine Ellis is saying, no. Andrew's saying a handyman is good. And I'm saying to the men, get ready to come into the room. We are at 13 minutes past 11. Lorraine, LB, come in, my darling.
I was just going to say that it's hard to find a handyman these days. Men, they don't know how to do nothing. Some of them can't even change a plug. Like, it's hard. I don't know if I've said this in the group before, if I said it to Yvonne personally, privately, but for me, I have several male friends. One can fix a car. One is an electrician. They can all do something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't sleep with them, because once you sleep with them, they ain't fixing jack. So that's what you need, Faye. You need a man that can do every job.
No, I do have those. I do have those. But some men can feel intimidated by another man coming into that situation, and that's why I say, when you've got male friends who can do things.
No, because when a man becomes your man, you make sure that male friend becomes his friend too.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But I still want him to do, you know, you don't always want to call somebody. He's only unblocking the toilet, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to always have to call somebody. You know, we need a new plug socket putting in. We don't need to call somebody. I can do it.
Yeah, it's true.
I can do it.
Yeah, but you still got to keep them fixer ones on.
Of course. If it's
friends.
a big job, you know, if my timing belt is gone, I don't expect my man to fix my timing belt and change my water pump and all of that. I've got a man for that. That's cool. You know what I mean? But if the oil needs changing, come on now. I can change the oil on my car. I can change the tire on my car. That was one of the first things I learned to do when I bought a car. I was 20 years old when I got my first car. You know, it's one of the first things I learned to do. If my man can't do the things that I can do as a female, sorry, bye-bye, see you later.
And I get that. Guys get ready to come in, but I think I'm gonna contradict myself in 2 counts here. I am, because you know what you were saying, Faye, about having, you know, somebody's can fix your car, blah blah blah. If he's nice, and it's like the putting water in the car or putting air in the tires. If the man is nice and I like him, I can't put water in my car and I can't pump up my tires. I mean, what I see him.
No, I can't do it either. Oh yeah, for that minute, I can't do it either. Even though I know I can do it, I can't do it either. Yes, darling, if you want to put my tires, go ahead. If you want to put petrol in my car, go ahead.
No, so you know what? I can do it. Don't get me wrong. I can do it. But I'm saying, if I like him, me can't do it, you know. Can you come and help me? Yeah. Come on, ladies. Look, at the end of the day, men want to be men.
Do you know that is one of the biggest things? The men don't openly admit it, but if you message or ring a man asking for help, they find that subconsciously
they do
very attractive. They love it. So you're right.
Second thing I want to say is somebody put on, it was JJ, that she said, let me see if I can find it. Distance should be a temporary issue, but long term it should come together if you truly love each other. Now, me in my world now, in the world that I live in now, my children are grown. A man who lives in, I don't know, Bahamas, somewhere nice, that's looking at me and is saying, come, you come. Me have suitcase, you know, and me have clothes. Me gone. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I would go and give it a go. That's what I'm saying. So even though I'm saying I'm not prepared to give nobody no red book, I would take myself up and go and stay abroad and live, because what I do I can work from anywhere in the world. Shalomi, come in. Men, are you ready? Come in, Shalomi.
Okay, after all the attractions, distance, some people not looking love, some people is looking help. So when it comes to long distance, we don't know who is looking help from who is looking love, right? And then in a relationship, I don't believe in 50-50 in a proper relationship, because you can marry or be with somebody in a month, life happen, and you have to be responsible for that person. You have to, so it's all depending on what people are looking for. That we have to establish too. Because remember, life is like this. I want somebody who got me, and I can say, I've got you. So if tomorrow we are together and something should happen to you, I'm willing to do 2-3 jobs to make sure that you are okay and you are looked after. Because we have to establish, what do we really want? Because yeah, the big dick is all right, the good butt is all right, and all of this. But for me, it's not the size of the gun, it's the effect of the bullet. And if your hip don't work, make sure you have a strong jawbone. So one way, other one way. The hip don't work, the lip's gonna work. So for me, odd thing. But to get back to reality, this is it, right? Relationship is like this. Today we are up, tomorrow we're down. So if the guy is down, because women, I'm a woman and I'm gonna bash me. We always want. We want a man with money. What about a man who wants a woman with money? We want a man with a good dick and money. What a man who wants a woman with a good hole and money? Let's be honest though, because we want, they want too. Come on. But in a serious relationship, right, we have to think about tomorrow. What will happen if something happened to me? Is he willing when there's a hole, but it has no use to him? Right? And what will happen when there is a penis, but it has no use to you? Right? So we have to, it's more than what he looks like. I can look like this tomorrow and get hit by a bus or set by fire, God forbid, whatever, but this is life. And you understand? So do we really want just all the hops? Because, or we want somebody that if tomorrow comes and tomorrow is not nice, we have each other. Yeah? Because, let's be honest, ladies, the penis eventually stop working. It will stop work. One day the man will wake up and the penis doesn't get up. Let's be honest. At our age, we as women, we just keep going. And if it get loose, we have plastic surgeon can tighten the muscle again. It's called designer vagina. If the breast goes, we can plump them again. If the belly is too big, we can, but with men, they're limited. Even the jawbone after a while just don't work, ladies. Let's be honest about the whole thing. Yes, so we have to give with a man, you know. Now we want a man that's in good working condition. But at our age, we're in good condition. We have to get somebody younger sometimes. And the big belly man, he ain't working. Yeah, you understand? Your thing can't really reel out behind that belly. I got a picture the last time and I asked the guy, could you move your belly out the way? Because whatever you were trying to show me, your belly hide it. Right? So there is more to it because we can have a laugh, you know, but what do we want, ladies? Let's be honest. Because we're going to have some guys, they're functional now, but what about tomorrow? Do you want him to stay with you just in case tomorrow you get breast cancer and the breast cut off? Can you still say, baby, you're still sexy? Let's be honest. We're just being 100, or we just want a gigolo, somebody just a gigolos, or because it's more than what we see, what we smell, or what we, you know, it's more. Yeah, it's, to me, it's more. But with the big dick, they don't really get up. I said to you ladies, forget the dicks, man. They don't really work well. The bigger is it that the blood doesn't circulate. So let's wipe that one out. Yes,
do you know what? Shalomi, you Shalomi, you have the golden mic. I think you just took it again. I think because we have been through what men want, what women want, we're looking at it, what actually attracts. And I think we have come to the place where we're beginning to know what we want, and we know that at this stage in life we have got, you know, that hopefully we have a good amount of time, a good amount of innings to enjoy that kind of sexual togetherness with a partner. But you're right in terms of things do happen. I think a few weeks ago we had Johnny from the USA, and he was talking about baggage. He was saying to the men, are you willing to help, and are you willing to work through it? And I think it's the same kind of question that it could be broadened out, you know, in terms of, you know, if you're with somebody and something happens. At this stage in our lives, we are looking for relationships. We're looking for long lasting. We are looking for our life partners. And what you say to men, are you willing to help? I think that, you know, we have to be at a place where we have to be realistic, but this is just a general conversation about what we are attracted to, because, you know, we're coming out of lockdown. The world's a mess. And it's a risk. We're going to meet people. There's many of us who are single, and it's going to be a big risk, you know, meeting someone and having those relations with them, because they could be the carrier of the COVID. They might not be. But we're going to have to look between the lines. And I always say I don't like to read between the lines, because that's where mistakes are made. But there was a question. There was I do recognise what you were saying, and I'm just kind of biding time for the men to come in the room. But I did have a message. That says this is a very good show. The women are on point when it comes to the answers to the questions, and it puts the men to shame. And that is from Desmond. That's from a man. I'm just saying, it never come from me. All right. Right. There's Mind Over Matter saying hello, men, hello, gentlemen. We've got people from all over the world logging in tonight. So, oh, the men, Mr. P, you're dressed to impress. I was about to say, men, what happened? Last week you was all suited and booted, and this week you never tried. Come on, brothers. Come on. Kelly was looking at me like, I can't do it 2 weeks on the trot, love.
Yvonne,
Yes.
I think
Yvonne.
it's a little bit in the guys today. And where is Desmond? Is Desmond a man?
Do you think?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Where is Desmond? Where is Desmond?
But is that because I gave my opinion though?
No. It's just that there's a lot of like men listen, men come on now.
Oh, but that's But the men listening, I'm gonna address that, because remember last week, Kellen, I said the same thing, because there was a point in the show last week where we were saying something and you guys were not listening at all. And so this week, the reason why I'm saying it is because we need to move on. We need to progress. And how we grow is listening. Listening is a key thing. So this is what, and I was disappointed at that. I was.
Did you say what it was? I can't recall what it specifically was. What did you not listen to?
It was about when we were saying, a lot of the men were saying that women dress for men. And we were actually saying within this room, we are saying we don't. That's not, we like to dress for ourselves. If we have a man that is our man and he likes a certain thing, of course we will do that. We will dress up, we'll wear a little something, you know, when he wants it, we will do that. But to say that we will dress up for men randomly, no, we don't do that.
Okay, can I speak for myself personally and maybe guys, right? For me, that was learning. I learned something. To the point, I actually apologized, which I didn't know that was an apology. It was me saying, I know what you have to say. Throughout the years, you kind of have a thought or thinking of how things maybe run, or not, also knowing that we're now in our 40s, so things have now changed. So I've had to kind of like change my thinking. So I learned a lot last week in actual fact. But if I can also speak on behalf of the men, I think it's a thing of where we have to realize that, you know, when we do come at a stage in life, things evolve, things do move on. So for me, and hopefully with the other guys, we heard something last week and we learned something and we're going to move on with it. So I don't think it's a thing of listening, because I listened and I actually have since then, I feel like I have actually moved forward. That's just me personally.
You're muted, sweetheart.
You're muted, Iman.
I'm sorry. Who am I hearing? I was hearing somebody. I'm like, who wanted to come in? Theo, you look like you want to come in. You want to come in?
I always want to come in.
Okay. Can I just
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
I was enjoying your lot's discussion, actually. It's quite informative. I wrote down quite a bit of what you guys have said as well. And it's not much different to, I can't remember the list of what the guy said, but it's pretty similar. You're always kind of pretty similar. All the ladies are dancing, smile, funny, style, confident. All the stuff that players like to be, peacocks, we like to go around showing, strutting our stuff. But I like the bit, Yvonne, when you said about the vulnerability and what you like, because I think I said the first time I came on this about a woman being vulnerable, because sometimes women have everything all done together. Some of you lot said you can fix plugs and do all that stuff. And then if you want a guy to come in, he's looking and saying, where do I fit into your life? So everyone says, I can do everything, but if I like the guy, I'm gonna act like I can't do anything because it gives him a way in. So if you're doing everything, he's like, well, there's only one thing I'm gonna give you, and that's what you can't do at nighttime by yourself. Because that's the only time you're giving him a way in is the bedroom. So that was nice to hear you say that, because not a lot of women actually want to say that. They want to say, I can do everything, I'm strong, I'm independent. I love a strong, independent woman. My wife's strong and independent, but she had to give me a way in, and that was me cleaning out her garden. That's how I got in that way. Else it would have been just, okay, you don't need me. So it was nice to hear it's nice to hear a woman say that, because most women don't want to admit that. So it was nice to hear that.
Thank you, Theo.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
And being honest as well. Who was it? Was it Shalomi and you, Yvonne? At least you were honest about attraction, because everyone was actually, oh, I don't look at the physical. We all know, I don't know. You were being honest. You like a guy with a big bum and all that stuff, and it was good. And Shalomi was saying the same thing. Everybody, no other woman said anything about physical, apart from a smile. I didn't hear.
No, I said I like a big man. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you like a big guy. You like Rick Ross. That was Rick Ross, the guy you was talking.
Yes, Rick Ross is
Rick
my
Ross with the big beard.
sexual.
But everybody,
fantasy.
nobody else said it.
I said, hold on. I said I like big men too. How you mean?
Okay, here we go now. Here we go now. It's four of you now.
I like someone who dresses well and stands out, and and confidence. Not so much looks as looking at past boyfriends. They don't all look the same, but they dress nicely. They stand out.
The dressing bit, we got the dressing bit, but I said physical. We was talking about the physical attraction.
Yeah.
Like, Karen looks around. I know Karen's a bit of a flirt, so. Yes, you, Karen, sitting down there. It's all good.
Can I just quickly say something? Just based on what Theo was saying, because I did write in the post, and I got my wrist smacked by Yvonne. Listen. I'm like, yes, I'm listening. I was just trying to distinguish between the attraction or what people gravitate to, and if I can use the word list, which I think they're both fine, but it was just the initial attraction. So I had to then start writing down for each person just to kind of distinguish between what drew them to that person, what's the attraction with this guy, and then what they would like to have in the relationship. So if a few people said something about cooking or DIY, I mean, and then Yvonne, you rightfully said, yeah, but that's kind of in the relationship. It's just what's the initial attraction. That's where I was a little bit lost. That's why I said those things there, you know? So, yeah, I wrote it down, but I don't need to actually say it, but that's for me, you know, I was liked hearing the women saying, yes, I want a man. Oh, there's somebody said it in the post. I love a man with intelligence. That attracts me. I thought, yes, I heard that. I get it. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, you're straight away saying that when you meet that person, there's feedback. Yeah, someone's got the thing on. You know, it might be a thing where strong feedback. Okay. Yeah, it might be a thing where there's something that attracts to that person. That person says something, and straight away, oh, this guy's got a great mind. That's an attraction. Opposed to, oh yeah, he can come and fix me. Come and fix my car. Maybe he come and make him pump for me. You know, it's. I needed to just kind of find what that fine line was between attraction and the things that he could do. That's all.
Can I just say, I deliberately didn't go into the attraction bit because all of the men that I've dated have looked completely different. So that's why I deliberately didn't go to physical attributes first, because for me, it's not about a physical, it's not necessarily about how they physically look. It's got to be something that draws me to them. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be the way they dress in, it just has to be something that I look across and I see something in them. They could have just looked at me and smiled at me in that particular way. I deliberately didn't go into height. I deliberately, because all of the, I've dated men that are the same height as me. I've dated men that are taller than me. And each relationship is different. Right. So I deliberately didn't go into a physical thing.
All right, Sienna, sorry, let me cut into you.
Faye, sorry. I don't know why my daughter's name is on there, but it's Faye.
Okay. Sorry, Faye. Yeah, Faye, yeah. Right? Now, you were the person that I wrote down notes, which was, this is what I wrote at first, yeah? not actual attraction, just a good person. So that's why I was a little bit lost. It was towards the end when you said, yeah, if he has the toolbox, yeah, man. If he's like my dad, to me, that was like, yeah, I get it. But if you can use those tools, I'm like, okay, I'm now hearing you. So when you said that you deliberately didn't do that, I'm thinking, Yvonne, what's the brief? Because it's like the men was like, when you say you didn't do that, boy, Yvonne made sure that we spoke about our attraction last week. I mean, I wasn't getting away with it. It was like, okay, what are you attracted to? And I had to say, yeah, I'm attracted to this, I'm attracted to that, blah, blah, blah. But obviously made sure that I even said that men do work outside in. So yeah, from the way how the lady looks, I'm first going to see that. Then I'm going to, depending on what the situation, if it's a dance, then you're just dancing. But if it's like you want to take it further, then you're going to ask certain questions to see if a relationship can build up from that. But this is why I needed to have, I mean, as the show went along, I was now hearing it, but it needed to be very distinctive between what the initial attraction is, which you did do, Faye, afterwards. Thank you very much. I now feel more complete with what you've said. So eventually did come out, and even on the post, the women are, they like their toolbox. I'm like, okay, cool. What kind of tools do you like? All right. But anyway, that's me. But thank you, Faye. Yeah, cool.
A spanner. I like a spanner and a hammer and a drill. I love a drill.
But you know what, Kelly? There's a lot more of us in this group this week. So even like with the 5 things, I haven't even got to that part. So I haven't even expressed the physical part. I was demonstrating other things that I see or hear that or feel from someone that I'm like, be attracted to. But in terms of the physical part, I'm actually attracted more to European men, French, Italian in particular. That's my number one. And I think it's because of the language, and it also could be my great-grandfather's French. So, my dad's Dominican, they speak patois, which is broken French, and I just naturally gravitate to those type of men. They're either French, Italian, or French, Italian together, or Italian on their own, or French on their own. They're my top one. That further down the line, I would say I like people from Spain. I'm attracted to Venezuelan, Mexican men. I don't know. They're my number one. And that is literally, both of my children are from black men. I love black men. My dad's black. My brothers are black. My children are black. But over the last 10 years, I thought a change is as good as a rest, so they say. And it has been European men for me since that point on. I don't know. I think it's the accent could possibly be, or that they speak another language. And I'm always keen to learn new languages. So that's the physical part. The distance, I'm not too one for traveling out too much. London to Northampton, possibly. I do like the give and take. I'm both. I like to give and I do like to take. And familiarity, culture, I'm really happy with people who have their own culture. It doesn't have to be the same as mine, but as long as it's a culture that I can learn and find things that are familiar, because you do find that when you date out of your own culture, that you'll find that other people have their own experiences, have their own culture. Similarities, I'm very much into myself, someone who does personal development coaching, goal settings, those types of things. So I do like a person who can say to me, Ruth, this is the plan. This is my plan. This is our plan. This is the family plan, and have that discussion so we can kind of, bash it out. So I just thought I'd put my 2 pence piece in.
Thank you, Ruth. Hold on, Tisha's going to come in. Just give me a moment. We've got some comments on YouTube. We've got Charmaine Blackie says, I'm a single mum of 2 daughters. I'm looking for a relationship or even to be with someone. And there are some reasons behind it. Ideal Interview says, I think we as women are a bit confused about what we want. Then there was a question, an answer from Veronica saying, "Speak for yourself." But there you go. Tisha, come in.
Yeah. So more about the physical aspect. I think again, yeah, I didn't mention the physical first of all because I've learnt that it's more than physical. I suppose that comes with age, isn't it? So that's why I didn't go into that. And as I said, past boyfriends are very different. But I will go for my preference then. I like, I like someone taller than myself. Because again, yeah, as a woman, you want to feel feminine, you want to feel protected, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'd love someone taller than me. I tend to go for the pretty boys, I suppose. Yeah, I really like someone. Yeah, it's really good looking, but that could be just to me, or the pretty ones. What else physical? Larger than me again. I think taller, larger than me. I think that's it. I go for different. I've dated different nationalities. But I can't think of anything else physical that I'd go for. But then if I met someone who ticks the other boxes, then that would go out the window. So now I am looking for people a bit shorter or same height as me, and that's fine. So I haven't really there isn't a physical thing. I think confidence can make someone really attracted to you. Like all the other things that I mentioned, that I think that makes me more attracted to them. Yeah, so yeah.
Thank you, Tisha. And that's a distinct difference, I think, between maybe, because I don't want to generalise, between the men and the women, is that the women are looking a bit deeper than some women, should I say, because I've already said what I've said. Some women are looking for that confidence. But again, I have to agree, it's about the stature of a man. Hold on, because someone's trying to get in and out. Lorraine, come in, and then Kelly on, come in. And then I'm going to go, you know who I'm going to go to after Kelly on? I'm going to bring in Tony, because Tony's been very, very quiet this evening, and Tony's had his hammer and his drill out. And I want to know, you see? I want to know what you intend to do with that drill, my brother. What is your intentions? Okay, so Lorraine, Kelly on, then Tony.
I was going to say, when it comes to physical attraction, for me, I think it might be an age thing, because when I was younger, that definitely would have been the first thing I went for. It'd be like, oh, he's fit. But not anymore, because I realise that a fit man doesn't always give me what I want or what I need. He might be good to look at, but then there'll be a lot of other things missing. And although I like a big guy, I do like a big guy, they do have to be healthy as well. And you can be big and healthy. So I was going to say, maybe it's, for me, I think to look at, I've matured in a different way. He doesn't necessarily have to be fit. I mean, especially a man older than me, men, unfortunately, they grow a belly. And us women, when we go through menopause as well, we grow a belly. So I'm not going to find a 50-year-old man with a six-pack, a 55-year-old man, I'm going to say, with a six-pack. It is going to loosen. I don't know. You look stressed out.
Do you know what? There was a few of us that were just holding our heads like this. No, Tony, please don't do this. Don't.
Oh no, Tony, don't take your top off. Please.
He was going to
We've seen your belly. We've seen it already. Oh, and I did write in the comments. I asked Tony for that necklace around his neck, and he's ignoring me.
And he's laughing. So, yeah. Okay, I believe that. Who wanted to come? Who did I say was coming? Kelly, I'm coming, babe.
All right, Lorraine, what I wrote, thank you for saying that. What I wrote to you, clothes, man of size and stuff. For me, it was clear what you do perceive, because because you know,
Bad
fashion.
feedback. Bad feedback. You've gone mute.
Please.
Please, sorry.
Thank you.
Oh Jesus, Yvonne. All right, let me continue. Okay. Fashion, clothes, man of size and stature is what I got from you, Lorraine, right? So it was pretty clear what attracts you to a guy, because you know, from when you see somebody, you're seeing how they look, you're seeing their fashion, and you said something about it. They pretty much look what's it, quirky? Is it quirky? Just look different. The person that just looks different. So I get it, right? For me, it was very clear what Shalomi was saying. Tall, dark, someone taller than her, 6 foot, and taller than that. And I kind of felt a bit more alpha male, and I kind of heard security and confidence, right? Now, and I was hearing it a bit with the other young ladies, but before, as some was saying, they weren't really looking at the physical attraction stuff. But some of that stuff is physical attraction. If the guy's tall, I know straight away what a woman's saying when she wants a guy that's tall, you know. And then I've heard it when a woman has said, now this is maybe now leaning more towards what Yvonne is saying. She looks between the legs, right? Because some women want girth. They need to have girth. I've heard a woman say it clear. No, listen, you guys can smile and laugh, but it is what it is. I've heard a woman say, like, she was very serious, saying, I need girth when I'm with men, okay? Because if you don't have girth, then it's just, I don't feel like I'm actually being touched. I don't feel like I'm being, whatever a woman experiences, right? And I got it. Some men, they need a woman if it's, I don't know, figure or breasts or whatever it is. It's just something that they feel that they need to have in their relationship. So I totally get it, right? That's why I'm saying that there needs to be a distinction really between the attraction and what gravitates you towards a person and the things that you actually would want in their relationship. And that's where it's only now I'm hearing from you women saying, yeah, but the physical side, yeah, I want this, I want that. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute, you guys have been on for about an hour. I have to say it. And then now I'm only hearing this now. You know, so I'm just kind of putting it out there, but that's not a bad thing though, because it is showing you that there is the difference between how men think and how women think. But we can obviously work this out towards the end, as we are doing now, which is, hold on, no, we do want these things. But the reason why I said this is because when I was younger, I was looking at these things, but now this is what I'm really looking at. I think, okay, cool, totally get it. We're obviously getting older, things are being seen differently, and then I'm hearing it, okay, I can get what's happening here. But I know that there is something there that say, no, I do like a tall guy. I do like the confidence. I do like a guy that has intelligence. Okay, cool. No, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Kellyanne. I feel like I need to apologise to Kellyanne because, and Alicia, you can come in after, because Kellyanne and I have had conversation in the week, and Kellyanne, yeah, I'm sorry, my brother. I'm not actually having a go at you. It's not directed at you. So, you know, when we're wrong, we can tell us when we're wrong. All right. Okay, Leisha, come in, and then Stephen will come in after Leisha.
Thank you. I know that when I sort of spoke earlier, I said that I'd got out with various men, various heights, weights, colours, sizes, intelligence, all that sort of thing. But I think the biggest thing that's come out since we've kept the discussion going is that I do like a man that's good with his hands. And it doesn't just mean in regards to working and using power tools, but I think that a man that knows how to touch a woman in not the right way, but in a way that allows me to say whether I like it or not. Someone who's inquisitive. Not all women like to be touched the same. So don't tell me what your girlfriend used to like, because I'm not her. So in that respect, that's where I'd say, you know, why I don't have a preference, because I will take, you know, each individual man that I'm attracted to for whatever reason, for that reason, if that makes sense. I'm not going to compare him to my ex, otherwise he wouldn't be my ex. That's the first thing. But even just looking at the men who have joined the panel, what I would find interesting is that if they all turn their cameras off and we just listen to their voices, would we then be attracted to the voice before we saw the person? So we could run quite interesting experiments, because all of these men here, none of them are unattractive, and I'm sure they're all attractive in their own individual way. So on like, you know, first appearance as they've all started to come through, I must admit, I kind of went, oh, hello and hello and hello and hello, you know, purely because they've presented themselves very well on camera. And then once they start to talk, I've spoke to Kels before on WhatsApp, so I know his voice more than I know his face. So therefore, I've got an understanding about his intelligence level as well. So therefore, that would keep me in conversation with him because he's a good communicator. So there's different elements that we'll discover with the men who are on the panel that we'll pick up different attributes within them, I would think, as well. And someone who maybe you wouldn't be attracted to normally because he said something or he's articulated himself a certain way, it might even change your perception of what you think you're attracted to.
You can listen to me on the radio if you want to hear my voice without the camera.
That was good, actually. And actually, Alicia, you've got my mind like, we could be onto something here. We might do something here because, and it's only because we struggle to get many men in the room, right? And some men do not want to be seen for whatever reason, men don't know what the reason is, but they don't want to be seen. So perhaps if we did an experiment where it's a total blackout, ooh, that could be quite juicy. Anyway, in more ways than one. Anyway, Stephen, would you like to come in?
Hi, everybody. How you doing? I found all the actual contributions today valuable and interesting, very varied. I don't think they were too dissimilar to the men, to be honest. Maybe kind of presented slightly differently, but we sort of covered the same ground in terms of what we like. I didn't see anything that came out that was different apart from the tools thing and fixing things thing. But I think what's interesting is that there's a difference to how you say you were 20 years ago to how you are now. And there's certain things that you've kept in terms of attraction, but there's certain things that you've pushed away. And I think that's interesting in itself. So guys, if we're listening and not, you know, in the thread, listen to what the ladies said. There was 2 pages full of things that they said that they liked. And I didn't see anything there for me to even just jump up and say that's foolishness or that's really odd. I didn't see anything like that. I just thought it's all good. I thought Yvonne was a bit brave. I like that, you know. So whoever's looking at Yvonne, you know, she's you can count yourselves out if you're without in a particular area. But it's good. It's getting interesting. Love to you guys.
To be fair, I never said it had to be big. I just, you know, because men do that. They sit the way that you guys sit. You sit when you're comfortable. You sit with your legs open. Where am I supposed to put my eyes? I'm looking everywhere. I'm checking you out. If you're looking me and you're talking to me, I'm checking you out. So that's where I'm going to do. So it's not you can't necessarily see the size. But
what makes you give the thumbs up then?
What gives the thumbs up?
Yeah. When you
the thumbs up for me is the intelligence of the mind. If you can engage me in conversation, you will keep me going. You will keep things going. If you can't engage me in the conversation, I'm just like, I'm bored. I get bored really easily. So I need conversation. I need intelligence. I need something like that to keep me actively interested in you. Yeah, in the person.
So it's all good. It's all good. I want to see what completely turns you off.
What turns me off?
Completely. Yeah.
I'm taking off my glasses. Well, what turns me off is someone that doesn't have it, that doesn't show intelligence, that is very self-absorbed, that is very much insular, full of ego, that doesn't have the space or the capacity for other people, because I love people and I love to help people. And so a person like that is not going to be conducive to me, because we're not going to agree. We're going to catch up in argument all the time. So, but physically, what is a turn off for me is you know, you get certain men. There are certain men. It's not, and I don't believe there's any men in this Zoom room, but there's certain men that have this stance, and then they put their hands down the front of their trousers, and they've got this big belly, or they've rubbed their belly. That is one of the worst things that you could do in front of me. I'm just really not interested in anything that you've got to offer. If you're standing in front of me and you've just got this girth of a belly, I'm not interested. If your belly's bigger than mine, it's not going to go down well for you. I'm just saying that. I'm a petite, structured, sturdy woman, and I like sturdy men. Let me say that. But I don't like men who have got a belly like they're pregnant. I don't like that. That's a turn off. But personality wise, if they're full of ego and they are self-absorbed and not self-aware, I'll put my glasses back on, because this is something that's really serious for me, because I find that the men that I have met, not every man, but some of the men that I have met are not self-aware. So they're not aware of their behavior, the way that they are, what they speak, how they speak, or they degrade women. Every person in this world, I believe, wants to be heard. Every person. Mm-hmm. And I think that when you're with somebody that doesn't want to hear what you've got to say, which is why I got really upset last week when I felt that the men were not listening to the women. It was really something that really got to me. It's really important that we listen to each other. And for me, that's, if a man doesn't want to listen to me, it's a deal breaker. If he doesn't want to hear my heart, it's a deal breaker. There's no point in me being with you, because I'm not going to be your trophy. I'm done. Back over to you, Steve. Stephen, can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Are you a therapist?
No, far from a therapist. No, why? What makes you say that?
Because you have a way. And do you know what? I'm going to speak to you after, because I think that you would be really good if you did NLP. I'm just saying. I'll talk to you after about this. You've got a nature about you. I identify something in you, in how you present yourself. You're very calming, and you bring a different energy to this group. I'm just saying. And I noticed that last week. So I just want to say that. But that's what I do. I see the gold in people, and there's a lot of gold in you. So back over to you.
Back over to me. Okay, people, it's my show.
It's not real. I just like the way that you kind of asking these questions.
Well, you know what? I don't think it's even me necessarily. I think it's more to do with having lived a little bit like all of us here, had different relationships, being married, once or twice. I mean, on my second marriage. I've got children. I've got, my children are, I got twin boys, and they're 28, they're big men, and a daughter that's 23. So I think it's a case of having a lot of things happening in the period of my life. So, and then growing up in church a little bit, that probably has a lot to do with it. Dad being a pastor probably has a lot to do with it. And leading various things, whether it's, what's the word, voluntary things, probably that. And to be honest, I try and help where I can. That's it. And I try and listen, but I'm way off a therapist. Way off.
Well, you're doing a good job in terms of the questions that you're asking. You're doing a good job, so I appreciate that. And it's not very often that I'm asked a question,
right,
as the host. And that's why I kind of, in terms of earlier on, I was like, should I say how I feel or what I look for, or should I just leave it for the show to just run and do it from that perspective? So it's not very often that someone asks me.
It's good that you did, because you talked about an area that people didn't speak about, or we didn't speak about openly, about the bottom area and the other area, which is quite forthright, really good.
Thank you. Well, you know, when you get to a certain age, because I can't say that I was always like this, but when you get to a certain age, you kind of leave that old stuff behind, and it's like, well, this is how I am. It's like it or lump it. If you like it, you don't like it. If you do, you do. But this is how I am, and this is. I think. Well, I like to look at a man's bottom. I think if a man have a nice round bottom, it's something to look at.
Well, drill down quickly is what I say, ladies, and men as well. Drill down quickly. You know, get rid of what you don't want and head for what you do.
Yvonne, is that why you didn't leave the studio that time when you came to do an interview on my show?
Is that why I did? Well, see, if you notice, Theo, if you notice, Theo, what I did is after we finished taking the photographs, I let you walk first. You was trying
Yes,
to.
I did. Now it's coming back to me, so I remember it now.
But I wasn't, because I knew you was married, so I wasn't really sizing up. I just wanted to see.
Okay.
Yeah, knowledge is power. Hello, so I need to know what's
now I understand. Now I understand.
Okay. It's all
May
good.
I ask a question? May I ask a question to Stephen? Stephen, are you single, bro?
Me? No. A couple of weeks ago, I said I was married.
Yeah, it's
And I just said that I've been married twice. I'm on my second marriage.
That's gonna upset some ladies.
Sorry?
That's gonna upset some ladies. Sorry.
No. There's like loads of men in it. There's loads of women, loads of men. But it's about narrowing down what you want and heading for it. You know, all the things that we've listed in here, we're wise enough to identify it, really. And I think sometimes we take what we don't actually want, you know, and get involved in things that we don't really want. In fact, nowhere near 50% of what we want. So as a result, we get into a relationship and tread that course, and it was a waste of time. You know, you've gained very little from it. But I think when we get to our age, I think we just head for what we want. I certainly did. And in my first marriage and even in my second marriage, the same thing. I headed for what I wanted. The first one didn't work for whatever reason. There's lots of reasons. But it was still a good marriage. And my second marriage, you know, I've learned so much more from my previous relationships that you know, I make a better go of it, really. So I'm married again and working at it, you know.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Thank you for your honesty. And I think you've hit some really key points that we can, because I'm learning. Every week I learn something. I learned something from you guys. As much as, you know, there's married men and single men, I'm learning from you guys. There's a lot to glean from. And I recognize things I don't like, and I recognize things I do. So it's very, very positive. Leisha, come in, darling.
I was going to say, I think Theo had his hand up first, so just wanted to check. Okay. Just a bit
after you, Theo will come in.
No worries, thank you. Okay, so I use social media quite a lot, so my face has been seen by quite a few people over the years. So you can imagine that my DMs occasionally get popping. I've got a few guys that I've chosen to continue conversation with, should we say. But one thing that men in general, I've got a lot of male friends, and I get friend zoned a lot. Now, this is quite strange. A lot of guys meet me, we go out, we have a drink or have a chat, and throughout the conversation, they realize that I'm probably more valuable as a friend rather than pursue a relationship and then that not work out and then not be friends with me at all. So I find it quite weird, yeah. So I accept it. I'm quite grateful because I learn a lot about the way men think and about me when they friend zone me. So there's a level of independence, and I know a lot of men don't like that word, and I've actually taken a dislike to that word. And I'll be honest, I don't like what Beyonce did, all the women who were independent, and then she went and got married and had loads of children. So she kind of defeated, I think, or was quite contradictory in regards to what she was telling us to do as women, go out there and be independent, but she wasn't sort of living by what she was singing about in a weird sort of way. Yeah, sorry, I just find it a bit weird with her in particular. So not the best example, but she's the one that I've got. But what men do generally say to me is that women do not speak directly about what it is we want. We tend to speak a tad indirect to try and, you know, perhaps appease the man's feelings. rather than just being direct. Men don't understand subliminal, or some men don't understand subliminal messages. And I think the direct approach will cut out a lot of drama from the offset, to be quite honest. And just being very, not arrogant with the way we are or the way we deliver the information, but being honest about the way we deliver the information. I think even like giving men compliments. This is an example that I saw on YouTube recently. When we give men a compliment, they don't know how to take it, because does that mean that she's attracted to me giving me a compliment, or is she just giving me a compliment because she appreciates the effort that I've put in regards to the way that I look? And I think we give mixed signals sometimes. Whereas if we was to say to a man, I like you, I like the way you look, would you like to take that any further? But if you just say to someone, yeah, you look nice or you smell nice, they don't know what that really means coming from a woman. It's just from what I've heard. We just are not as direct as we could be. We're very confident in regards to what we want, but I'm not sure that we always vocalize that when speaking to men in general. So we're good in this forum, but maybe on a one-on-one basis, would we be as vocal and be as direct?
Good points, Leisha. And I just want to throw that out because I know Theo was coming in. That question, you know, and then Faith can come in after, you know, the question that Leisha posed there, you know, in terms of, do you know what we mean? Is there a barrier there when we're saying, oh, you look nice, or oh, I like your cap and your t-shirt, you're looking very lovely this evening, right? How do you take that? Do you think that I'm looking you, or, you know, am I just paying you a compliment? How does it feel for men to receive it? Yeah, Thea, come in. I'm addressing you both.
I've learned to accept a compliment. At first, it was uncomfortable because I don't know what is it natural mystic? I did as she said, I wasn't. What do I do with that? Do I now say we're having a conversation? Is it a passing comment? Because as I said last week, I'm a predator. I'm a hunter. So when I was out in the world playing, I'm always on the hunt. So it's not normal for the prey to then come and talk to me as the predator. So when a woman says to me, oh, you look nice, I'm like, okay, what do I say? Thank you? Or is that a green light for me to come? Or is it just her just passing comment? So I've just learned to say thank you now. I've just learned to say thank you and keep it moving, because I'm a married man for many years now. So, but it's still, when a woman says it to me, I'm still a bit, okay, does she like me? What's going on here? So yeah, I don't know about the other guys, but I'm not comfortable with it still now, but I've just learned to say thank you.
Thank you for that, Theo. Can Kelly, are you coming in? Yeah, come in.
Yeah,
Kelly.
just very quickly. I think it just depends how it's delivered, because I remember years ago, I had one young lady stop me on the road and said, "Why are you looking nice?" You know, yeah, and she was going in. I was like, "Oh, what do I do with this?" Same what like Theo was saying. I'm thinking, okay, does this mean that you're gonna ask for my number? Does it mean that you're gonna ask me out? It was very odd. It was awkward, and I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know what to do with that. But if a young lady generally just says, "Oh, I like your suit," or "I like your hat," she's specifically saying something that's complimenting you, I just say thank you. And if we engage with the conversation, then we can maybe see where it's going. So I think it depends. Some things are innocent. Some things are just what it is. Like a woman could have nice dreads, you know, like Lorraine, I love your dreads. I think the way how you wear it is nice. That's it. You move on. Yeah, and by the way, the women are looking lovely tonight. Does that mean that I don't want to date them all? No, they just genuinely look lovely.
No, but it's normal it's normal for us guys to do that.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
And women are used to receiving compliments. It's not normal for guys to receive compliments.
Yeah, no, sorry, bro, but I mean, bro, you look like a good-looking guy, so you should be getting compliments anyway. Okay?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, but what do I do with it? Even when I was out in the world,
as you said, just
do I take it further, or is it just a passing compliment? But as I said, when I was a player, if a woman says, "Hello, you look nice," I'm on you. Are you giving me a green light? Even if it's a passing comment, you let your guard down. I don't care. I'm gonna jump on you. If you then back me off, then you back me off. Now I just say thank you.
Okay.
Don't matter who it is. I just say thank you.
Okay, so there's like a distinction between being the player, you know, as that was your former life. Now it's like, okay, I was there. Now my frame of mind and thinking is now is now changed to like, if a woman says, you know, you look, I like the way how this is. Oh, this is what it is. That's because where you were before, that's not where you are. That's not where you are right now, or that's not where you were. Oh, sorry, I get my words tangled. Hey, where you are right now is a woman says this is what it is. So I get what you're saying, but it sounds like things have now changed for you. Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Yeah, I've been married a long time. Too many children. Too many children, grandchildren. Yeah, my kid's older than Stephen's children. My oldest is 30, and I've got 5 grandkids. So yeah, I'm 6 kids and 5 grandkids and mums, and I'm good. Stay at home.
I think. Whoops. Let me. Am I muted? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me. Wonderful. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for your honesty and your transparency in that, because it's really interesting for us as women. I mean, there's lots and lots of comments coming. Lyndon Wissart is saying, accept the compliments, it's reassuring from a woman. He feels it reassures. And yes, to reply thank you is great. Just, yeah. Lyndon is a married man. I don't think he'll mind me saying that on the air. He's a married man, and so he's just giving his feedback. But it's interesting to know this. I know that we slightly diverted on the conversation, but it's really interesting to know, because women, when we're giving out compliments to men, it's how they reciprocate and how they think about what we're saying. And I didn't think you would think anything if I said, "Why, I like your cap and your t-shirt match." You know, Theo's got cap and t-shirt match. Or I might say, "You know, Tony, I like your necklace." Or I might say to Stephen, "I like your top." Or I might say to Kellyon, "Boy, I like that shirt." Yeah. No, actually, what I say to Kellyon is, Kellyon has the most amazing smile. He does light up, when he smiles, he does light up a room. Me and Kellyon have been friends for very many years. Go on, smile with your bad self. We've been friends for many years, and it's something that I recognize that Kelly is a key thing about him. And does it mean I'm looking him? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that I see that in him. I see that he has a smile that as soon as he smiles, it just lights up everywhere around him. There's an aura about him that's very peaceful and very caring. It comes out in his smile. So, but as a woman, I want to hear from the women, when you are giving a man a compliment, and I want you to be honest, right? If you're giving a man a compliment, are you looking him? Lorraine, I want to see hands. So Lorraine, Shalomi, then Destiny, then Tisha. Let's go quick. Then Sheena. Quick. Let's keep it moving because we are over time. So let's go.
I compliment men all the time. If I see a man and he's got nice shoes, I will stop him and say, "Excuse me, I just wanted to say that your shoes are bad." And I will say as well, I'm not trying to hit on you. I just want to let you know that them shoes are bad. They're wicked. That's it. If I am trying to hit on them, they will know that I'm trying to hit on them just from my stance and my body language. But yeah, I will say I'm not trying to hit on you, but your shirt is nice or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay. Who was next? Faye? Was it you? Destiny? Who was next after Lorraine?
I'll come in then.
Come on then.
Yeah. I can pay compliments to a gentleman at any time. I feel we're very good at flirting as well as the men. So therefore, if I was to say to a gentleman, oh, you know what, you're just looking nice,
Feedback.
well groomed. At the same time, it's not that I want to hit on you. It just means that I find you attractive in my eyes, and I just want to give you a compliment. You know, I could be in the supermarket and I could smile at you, and you could either take my smile as inviting to say hi, good afternoon, or you can just go about your business. You know, I'm not going to take offense. But to give a man a compliment, there should be nothing in it. Like Theo was saying, he doesn't know where to go with that. Just take the compliment and just say, thank you, sister. You know, it's all good. Have yourself a good day, you know? I think sometimes men pay a lot about their status as well, whether you're married, you're engaged, you're with somebody. But if you receive a compliment, take it in a good heart and move with it, move along with it. It doesn't matter what you can do with it. It just means that a sister's paying you a compliment. That's it. You know, stay blessed, whatever. That's my contribution.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. Who was next? Who had something else to say? I know Mr. P wants to come in. Shalomi come in, then Tisha come in. Mr. P, I just want the ladies to come in, then you can come in. I saw Stephen's hand up as well and Sheena's hand up as well. So let's make our comments really quick and fiery and let's get to the point quickly. So next, who's next?
If I see a guy and I think he's attractive for many. The other day I was in the mall and a guy perfume, he just called me. He has this perfume on and I just followed him and I'm like, you smell really nice. Your wife must like this perfume. Because I wanted to know if he was married. So I'm like, your wife must be one of the most luckiest women. And he smiled and he said, yes, she is. And I go, okay, then that's off the chart. So I'm like one of them. And I can see somebody and they can be really, really nice. And I'm not flirting or like him, but he looks good. But if I really like somebody, first of all, I want to know if they're with somebody. So I'll give them some cheesy chat up line like, oh, that smile. I can imagine your girlfriend must feel like an angel waking up to that smile. So I do cheesy chat up line just to find out if they're with someone. To be honest, I do it. I'm not gonna lie, but I always put the girlfriend or the wife or the children or something in it just to. So I do it. And one of the things I found out why I'm definitely single. The men that I'm attracted that are very nice and who treat me right is just in the wrong body type. They just come in the wrong body type, the wrong height, but they're really nice guys, but they're just in the wrong, and that's, I realize it, because short men, oh God, I get some sweet ones, but I find them sweet, not attracted, yeah? And I would like, oh, you're so sweet, you remind me of my son. And that's like, I'm not interested, right? But I would chat up a guy, if he's nice, like Kyler, what's his name? Every week I know him, you know. He has a nice smile, a bright smile. What Kyle? Yeah,
Elliot.
yeah. I think I could wake up to that smile. Well, I think I could. And then Tony, if I could do a little switching, right? And Tony has this confident going on, so I could switch it in Kyle and smile. And then Stefan have this hot body. Then I could do a bit of switching if we could switch. You understand? Can I be honest? We're just being honest with others, yeah? So if I could be a bit of switching, you understand? But Stefan, you're hot, man. I'm not am I flirting? I don't even know what I'm doing. But you're really hot, like you're really, damn. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you alone. You're married. Yeah, and Carlin have a nice smile, and Tony have a charisma there. You understand? So if it was a thing that we had a one and I could switch, I could find me a side guy, a husband right on this panel tonight. And then Mr. P now, Mr. P, you let me wanna I would break the rules for Mr. P, but Mr. P is Mr. P, you get me? So boy, all I can say is, damn, the good ones are taken gay or something, I don't know. Man, I'm done, man. I'm gonna drink
This good
some
one,
water.
this good one is not over 6 feet. That's just the issue. I mean, I'm 5'7". Can we make this work? Can we make this work?
5'7".
That's sorry, love. I ain't 6 feet and upwards. You know what I mean? You made it very clear. You want 6 foot onwards.
But I could wake up to that smile, then I won't really know if you're 5 foot, 6 foot, or even.
Well, that's
just that
very true
smile.
because I'm
Yeah.
tall in character. That's very true. I'm tall in character.
Yeah, so when certain places I won't even realize, and before you realize the
Don't worry,
height
I'll
ain't
make
no
up for it,
problem
love.
no
Don't
more.
worry. I got the tool as well, love. Don't worry.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I
this
need
work.
some
Yeah,
rum. I
make
need me.
Don't worry.
I need me some rum. Okay, Kylan, you're gonna let
Smile, got the
yeah.
tool. Yeah. To make
Yeah.
this work.
Well, I think
I
that
got
we
the character too.
I think the golden mic goes to Kellyanne and Shalomi tonight. I think that we have something going on here that could develop into something quite interesting. So yes, I just say boom, 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 boom. Yes, very happy to. Yes, yeah.
Well, since the first week, I saw Kylan and I thought I was going through menopause, but I realized he just gave me this hot flashes. I don't know why, but this guy just give me hot flashes. So I thought I was going through menopause, but then I realized I wasn't. So it just is what it is, man. You understand?
Kellyanne, you the man. Shalomi, my sister. Wow, I saw you for that bad man.
Shalomi, it's not always about height.
I know, that's what I said. It's not the size of the gun. The bullet can be very dangerous and damaging. You understand? I do know that. You understand? But right now my window is open. It's cold and I'm hot. So, yeah.
Kellyanne, I think that there is, if there is something to be said, it is to be said now. But I think that you guys can connect away from the group. We have breakout rooms. Veronica's got the fan out to cool Shalomi down right now. I think this is the essence of the show. You know, we talk about lots of different things, but the point of the night is for us to get together. It really is. And Kellyanne is fanning himself right now. This is very interesting. Very. Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh, but this is really, really, really exciting here. There you go. So, yeah, we've got lots and lots of comments on YouTube and Facebook. It's just really going off here. Yeah, so I want to come into, who wanted to come in? I know Mr. P wanted to come in. Who wanted to come in as well? Who had something to say? Okay, so let's let Mr. P, Stephen, Tisha, Mr. P, Stephen and Tisha come in. Mr. P, come in.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta laugh, innit? You see, when it comes to, as you all know, I'm a happily married man. When it comes to me walking in town, I'm always wearing a suit. Most of the time, I'm wearing a suit when I'm walking in town. And all the ladies, if I'm walking with my wife or not, they all seem to say good evening or good morning, or everybody saying hello to me. So, you know, so it's a different thing. Everybody's saying hello and I'm saying hello back. And sometimes my wife asks me, who is she? I say, I don't know. I don't know who she is. It doesn't matter where I walk. It doesn't matter what country I go to. Everybody seems to be just, I don't know what it is. I think I've got an halo, you know? I think I've got an halo on my head, because that's how it is with me. People are just nice. The ladies are nice. I don't get compliments from men, but I always get compliments from ladies. They always say, you know, your shoes nice and that. But again, I'm not a cheap shoes man. Most of my shoes are expensive. They're not cheap. So, of course, they're going to like the crocodile or the lace up or whatever. They're going to like it. So, you know, men, just feel free. Just feel free. Be yourself. I like what Salome said earlier, right? At the end of the day, this is a real deal now. At the end of the day, you're going to meet somebody on this platform or wherever, And it's for the age that you are, you're not looking now to be, you're looking for true love now. You're looking for somebody that's nice, or somebody that's going to look after you, basically. It's not just about, when you're at the wedding, it's not about just eating that cake. You share the cake, you know, she give you a bit of cake, you give her a bit of cake, you share the wine, she give you a bit of wine and you give her a bit of wine, right? In life, in true life, you've got to be doing that. You've got to be ready. If anything happens to the lady, or anything happened to ladies, if anything happened to your man, you've got to be there to look after them as well. No matter what it is. I broke my ankle, and as much as my wife is not well, she still looked after me, and I broke my ankle. You know, and that's how it is. You just look after each other. It doesn't matter. I hear Salome say, the bag, the fat, and this and that. At the end of the day, some of these men, they're all fit now, and then when they're married, they don't do all the exercises. But the woman and the man, you have to work together. Everything is a working thing. You work together. You can win. You can win. You can win by working together. You just work together. You know? So Salome.
Yeah.
If you I see you see a man in the room. Yeah. That
I see many men. I stand on a mountain, and you know that scripture, and I see men standing like trees.
Well, the thing is, it's not for you guys now. It's not a mess about thing. It's not a thing. It's not a one night stand. It's got to be. The man's got to really love you, and you got to really love the man. Then it's not a mess about thing now. Love ain't messing about. You got to be true to the man, and the man's got to be true to the woman. You know, so yeah, I'm looking forward to my 40th wedding anniversary, because there's many people on this platform that's going to be there.
Oh yes, thank you, Mr. P.
Thank
you for your
Thank you, sir.
It's coming up soon. It's coming up soon.
Yes.
I've got to start planning.
All right, we will be there. I've got someone that says, Desmond says, what the woman was saying, being direct with the men, is actually absolutely true. She's got it on point. If you want a man for sex, tell him you want him for sex. If you want a man for money, tell him what you want. And if you want to be with a man to have children, tell him what you want. Men, I don't know how you feel about that, but so he knows, the last bit, so he knows where he stands. So that was from Desmond. We've got loads and loads of different comments. I want to let you know that we are 26 minutes past 12. This show is supposed to end at 12 o'clock and we are still here. So what I'm going to say is because the conversation is thick and the conversation is very ripe, I'm going to say we're going to end at 1. Okay, we're going to end at 1 because I think it's very, very interesting. I can see that Mo is here as well. I know that you've had trouble. There's some people who are trying to get Sarah wanted to come into the room. I don't know if Sarah's listening, but Sarah, if you want to come in for the last couple of minutes, the last half an hour, I will allow you to come in because your contribution was really great the last time. So, right. So I know that we have gone off topic. We have gone off topic, but it was interesting to find out and to hear the perspectives of men in terms of women paying them compliments, because, you know, I want to know if I pay a man a compliment, what's he actually thinking? Is he thinking that I'm hitting on him, or is he just thinking I'm just telling, you know, I'm just saying? Because when somebody is hitting on me, it's not always apparent to me. I don't think that way. Oh, he's hitting on me. Unless he's blatantly saying, I like you. But if a person is just being nice and is just showing a little bit of attention, hi, good morning, it's by the by. And so it's interesting to find out about how the men see it as well. And I want to thank Theo for being honest and transparent to say, you know, he just says, thank you now. You know, it's a little bit awkward. Maybe because he's married, but I want to thank you for being transparent. So I do know that we've gone off topic, but I want us to carry on in this kind of realm, because I think it's interesting for us and it's good for us to know what men are thinking, so that when we do go out, because lockdown is ending and we will be going out and we will be meeting. By the way, we have 2 events planned for this group, and that's this group who are on Facebook, those who are on YouTube, those who are in the Zoom room, for us to come together. And that is one of the suggestions with Mr. P was going to where the place called again, Mr. P? Down the road, can't remember.
The famous place, Luton Hoo.
Luton Hoo, that's it, Luton Hoo, which is a lovely, it's a stately home, it's very nice, and I think it would be quite funny to go there actually, especially as the majority of the listeners here are Black. It would be absolutely hilarious to go there, and I'm really up for it, really, really up for it. And also, we're going to be doing Top Golf. I want to arrange a day for us to go, and it will be a bit hard because the men, there's less of the men, but if the men want to bring their brethren, then we can, and it's open, so those who are married, you can bring your wives as well. We'd love to meet them. We're not hitting on you, you're not exclusive to the group, you know, we are respectful of your partners, and so we would like to invite all, so we can get to meet and have a laugh and a joke. Once this is fully over, we can meet. So that would be Top Golf, and we can really get into a place where we can compete, because I know that there's some people here that are competitive, and we can have a really, really good time. Yes, bring your single friends, brothers, uncles, cousins, dads, everybody, next door neighbor. If you so feel to bring them, if they are single, you can bring them, because we've got some lovely ladies here, as you know. Okay, so Theo, you wanted to come in?
No, I was just asking, what's the Luton Who? What's it about? I just wanted to know what it was.
Okay, so Luton Hoo is a stately home. It's got grounds, you golf, it's got a spa, you do tea. It's one of them, it used to be owned by the Queen, you know, the Queen family. That's why I say, as a collective, it would be hilarious to go. It's one of them places. You know, darling, we're going to have afternoon tea, you know? Yes, Mr. P, come in.
The good thing about Luton Hoo is they don't judge anybody. They don't know. I mean, me and my wife is driving on the road. Within the grounds, they've got their own taxi. So we're in this little buggy. 2 men are walking while we're in this buggy, and they're passing us. And they said to me, "Sir, I like your car." So I said, "Yeah?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's Ferraris, nice." And see, the car park is full of Ferraris, but nobody knows who owns what. It's just a nice place. The spa is nice. The swimming is nice. The jacuzzi is nice. The dinner is nice. The golf is nice. Everything is my home. It is a nice place. It's expensive, but don't worry about it. Tony's got plenty of money.
Oh, Tony, you've been quiet tonight.
Well, Tony.
It's on Tony, apparently. Tony's been very quiet tonight. Listen. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Oh, okay. So, Veronica, if you look into YouTube, ideal interview slot, have a conversation with her and see if you can do something offline. Yeah, thank you. All right, we got you, Sarah. I've seen your message, and Veronica's going to contact you. Ow! I just knocked my knee. Oh man, oh that hurt. Oh,
is he a vet in the house?
Oh, that hurt. You know when you knock your knee and it hurts. Oh, damn. Ooh. Anyway, so I know that Stephen was waiting and Mo is waiting. So Stephen, Tisha, Mo.
Okay, I hope your knees feel a little bit better. Natural Mystic, your question. There's a few parts to it that I think we missed really in answering the question. I want to ask you one question though, so you might have to unmute. You know, when you said that there's a couple of guys that you were interested in and they just, you were interested in and they just became friends. And some of them are not friends. So let's deal with the ones that are friends. Are there some that are still friends still now that you liked? Do you still like them now?
No, not 100%.
Oh, because I was going to ask you to just, if you did like them now, you could, and they're still your friends, you could literally have asked them, you know, I've been giving some signals. How come you haven't picked them up? Because they're your friends. You could, you know, we're mature enough to ask questions like that. And I don't think it would be received badly, you know, at all.
I'm quite a vocal woman, if that makes sense. I'm not one to kind of sit back on what it is that I have to say if I like somebody. For example, I went to Carnival 4 years ago. There was someone dancing behind the float and kind of been seeing him ever since. But the reason why, not that there's a lack of interest now, but it's more to do with like, where are we going with what it is that we were potentially doing? And because he's not really forthcoming with where he wants to go with me, I know where he wants to go as an individual,
right?
In regards to his business and his plans, his goals, you know, that sort of thing. But at no point has he ever said that he sees me in his future. So therefore, I don't feel like I'm in a relationship with him. I just feel like he's a convenient phone call.
Right. Friend. Okay. Right. Okay.
I call him my bed buddy. Let's just keep it real.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I trust him because he's not sleeping with anybody else in that respect. But there has come a point where I don't want to do that anymore. So it's either me and him are going to progress further, full stop, period, point blank, or you just stop doing it and I will go and find what it is I really want.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you. You could just go, because I was saying you sounded to me as though someone that doesn't mince their words. So I couldn't understand why you wouldn't sort of like just ask them, you know, what is it that I'm not making clear here about my feelings, you know?
Well, I was gonna say, with this particular individual, he's been on a bit of a journey with me. I'll keep it real. He met me at a really awkward time in my life, and it's like, you know, 3.5, nearly 4 years later, I'm a completely different person in a different place. So I have to bear that in mind. Whereas I can see my growth in the 4 years that I've known him, but I don't think he wants what I want, basically.
Right, so you're still complimenting other guys now then and not getting a response back, is what you're saying?
I've not been, I'll be honest, I've been focused on business. I've actually just been one of those selfish women who was taking all the attention and being quite upfront with men, kind of saying to them straight, I'm not really in a position to date. I just want to focus on my business. I want to make my million. And then I'll be open to dating. But right now I'm so focused on business, self-development, doing what it is that I'm doing for myself for the first time ever in my life, like just focusing on me, working on me. And I feel like I give a lot of myself away when I'm in relationships or when I'm dating somebody, and they're a bit of a distraction. I'll be honest with you, that's what it is. I don't really need the distraction of a man right now.
Well, that's a fair point. In that case, I can't even give you any suggestions that I was thinking. But what I will say is that when we do receive compliments, and that's whether we're married or not, I personally would know if somebody, it would feel different if the compliment was with the view to taking it to a different place. Because obviously the compliment would happen, and then, you know, you just don't walk away after that. If there's something else to talk about, there's something else going on. So you'll have a conversation, you'll feel whether it's going to go somewhere different. You know, if somebody pays me a compliment, if I was a single person and they just moved on, and that's it, that's the end of it, isn't it? They've said, oh, your clothes look nice, or your smile's nice, or whatever, and they've gone. So that's the end. But if I'm somewhere and they've paid a compliment and then they reappear, you know, and then they keep reappearing and I keep glancing over, and then it's obvious that we're looking and we're connecting, then, you know, there's something to take on board there. But if it's just a one thing, hey, your shoes are nice, thank you very much, gone. As a married person, I can still see if they're they want to take it somewhere else, and I'll just say I can't, I don't want to, and that's the end of it at this stage in my life, you know. So, you know, I don't think because you're married you don't know the difference, or if you're married you can't take a compliment. You can take it. You can't stop a compliment coming. You know, just the same way I will give a compliment now, even though I'm married, but I won't have an intention, you know. I can't, and I won't. And if my brain even begins to think like that, I won't let it come out my mouth. You know, I've got my wife here, so that's it. You know, but it takes a while to get there for me, for men like me. There's other men that have always been down the line straight and got it right all the way. P, I salute you. If you can hear me, I salute you. But you know, in terms of compliments, we try to be clear when we're giving our intentions as men. And I think women these days are quite clear, you know, and it's up to us if we want to take it further with the lady. So that's all I want to say to you, Natural Misty.
Thank you, Stephen. Tisha, would you like to come in? I know you've got something to say.
Hiya. Yes, with regards to compliments, I think, yeah, you can feel the intention from the person, as Stephen was saying, and also environment as well. So if you're in a club and stuff like that, I suppose that it's flirty, isn't it? It's passing kind of compliment. You know, you kind of feel it wants to lead on to something else. So yeah, I think environment is a massive thing. And also, I think if a man is paying me a compliment and it's not just about physical, then I take it more seriously. If they can really see me, I think that's when I know, yeah, they're looking deeper. Yeah, they're really looking at me. And then for Natural Mystique, it's very interesting. I was in a similar situation to you a couple of weeks ago with a gentleman that I really liked, and I was holding on to him for a while. And actually, I understood that my soul was connected to him. And I was waiting, had a lot of issues what had happened in his life, waiting. And I understood that I wanted to move on, but I understood, yeah, my soul was connected to him. And I understood that if I wanted to move on and actually pursue other potential, like go on dates and pursue other relationship, I had to cut that tie. So I actually, spoke to him, and I was very direct, which again has come with age, very direct. And I said to him, I want a relationship. I really like you. I've been waiting for him. And he gave me this, I really like you too. And yeah, all of this is going on, blah, blah, blah. And I said to him again, you need to be clear. Are we going to do this? And he said no, he can't do it. And I was so thankful because I can move on rather than waiting another year for him to let me know if he wants to be with me or commit or whatever. And so now I feel great, and I feel like when I do meet someone, I'll be able to properly commit or look at the potential. So I would say have that chat again. Tell him what you want. If he can't give it to you, find someone who can. Exactly. And you've been very patient. But I think that's my lesson in life, actually, patience. And I have definitely been patient. I know things happen in people's life. I've been patient, but it's time. Yeah, it's time for me, and it's time for you. You deserve the best. Yeah, deserve the best. Yeah. So, yeah, soul ties. Yeah, look into that. And then cut that cord, man. Free. Anyway,
Soul ties are real. They're very real. It's interesting to hear this conversation, actually, because the one thing that I recognize is in these types of relationships where you have this friend who there is a commitment, but there is no commitment, right? We know we all know these relationships. I'm sure we all as adults know these relationships. But it always comes to a part where one of the parties wants more. Always comes. And it's normally the woman who wants more. And it's how we navigate ourselves through that, because actually we knew what the relationship was in the beginning, right? If we're real, we're honest. And so now it's about us taking ownership and saying, right, what do I really want? right? Because I mean, you know, as I said, we're all adults. I've been in relationships like that. You know, you have a little something, and it's nice, and it's all good because you at the time you don't want anything more. But then there comes a time when you do, and what happens when you do, and the other person doesn't want what you want, and that can be soul destroying, and that can sometimes make the people who are participating very bitter as well, right? I'm just talking, this is real talk, right? And it's not directed at anyone, and I want to say that it's not directed at anyone. So it's what do we do now? For me, you know, I'm just not interested in, because many a man, and this is something that I struggle with, and I'm going to be open and honest, that there are many a man in our age group that's all they want to offer. A little something, something. I'm sorry, I'm not a little something, something. I'm not, and I'm not, and I'd rather be at home. I'd rather be by myself and sort. Let me tell you this. I'd rather sort myself out. You hear what I'm saying? Read between the lines. I'd rather sort myself out than to be with a man that can't give me what I want, that can't commit and move forward and build and grow something with me. I'd rather be by myself, because you don't serve no purpose then. Because the thing that you think that you're doing for me, I can do that myself, and I have instruments that work very, very well that make you redundant. So what I want to say to men is, now is a time, you cannot be complacent anymore. This way that we have started to live is not conducive to us as human beings. It's not conducive to us as male and female. We have to move beyond this now and start looking at how we're going to progress further. Look at the world that we're living in now. It's going to be very difficult to survive and to go forth as a single person. We are stronger when we are in numbers, right? So when you have a couple, when you have a male and a female, the way in which the source of life created us to be, when we come together and we work together, we can create beauty. We're so much more powerful. And so for me now, where I am, and one of the reasons why I started doing this thing is because I'm just not having it anymore. I'm not. So for a man, any man, and I will just say this quite clearly, any man that's looking at me, if you're looking at me and you just want to look at something, don't waste your time. I'm not interested. I'm looking for somebody who is serious. I'm looking for somebody that knows where they're going. I'm looking for somebody that wants to create something. I'm looking for somebody who wants to be a king and act like a king. I'm not looking for a pauper. It's not the prince or the pauper. And when I say pauper, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about mindset. And I see this so much in our community. I see it. I hear it. I have women contacting me all the time. Oh, he said this. Oh, he said that. And I'm like, well, what do you want? What is he offering you? What are you offering each other? What are you going to build together? And it's like, well, he doesn't want a relationship. Then you don't get none of me. And it's as simple as that. And this is what it's harsh, but and I want men to be the same. Men, if you see a woman that you like and you're saying to her, yeah, I'd like to be with you and I'd like to build a life with you, and she's saying, oh, I don't want anything seriously, walk on. You're better than that. You are a king. And kings do not lower their standard for anybody, and neither do queens. And we have to start living in the way that we were created and formed as kings and queens. It is no longer acceptable for us to give peace. We are not dogs waiting for the crumbs at the master's table. I'm just saying. I didn't mean to preach to you tonight, but I'm just saying, we as single people, those who are married, I respect you and honor you for the commitment that you've made to your spouse. It doesn't matter whether it's first, second, third, fifth, 10th marriage, it doesn't matter. I respect you for the fact that you've made the commitment. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's not be mistaken. This is not about us sitting here and just having conversations. This is for us to build our self-esteem, build our confidence, build our self-worth, build our mindset, so that when that person does come, listen, no little, I was going to say something, can just come and walk and approach somebody like, I'm not having it. And another reason why, I've got a 21-year-old daughter, and some of us are mothers. Some of us are not. Some of us are aunties. Some of us are cousins, and the younger ones are watching. We are the role models, and we are wondering why out in the world the young people are behaving the way they are. It's because we are not in position and we are putting up with foolishness. It's time for this to stop. We have to now regard ourselves as the pearls that we are, and we don't throw pearls amongst swines. We don't throw our pearls amongst swines. We are kings and we are queens, and it's time that we start living that way and set our standard higher, so that those who are coming up will also set their standards higher. We've been living shabby for too long, and I've done it. I've made the mistake. I've done that. I've had a little something, something here, a little something, something there, to no avail. Now is the time for us to actually behave. If we're calling ourselves queens and we're calling ourselves kings, then we need to behave like we are. And that's just me. That that's where I'm at in life, and that is what I'm teaching in life. So, you know, guys, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are on Love Zone Radio, those of you who are on YouTube, those of you who are on Facebook, those of you who are in the Zoom room, I really want to encourage you today, as singles and males and married people, sorry, not males, married people, to stand in your worth. Know who you are, and don't put up with foolishness no more. We are going to be looking at rejection next week. Big Stephen went, I saw your mouth go, ooh, yeah, rejection. Because many are single. I'm just talking for the women. I'm just going to highlight the women. There's many single women who are hurt. They are destroyed inside their own self because they have been rejected, and we don't know how to work through it. So we're going to deal with that next week. That is going to be our topic next week. How to overcome rejection in a relationship. Whether you are the one who's the rejector or the one who's rejected. Everybody's looking at like, oh God, it's going to be a heavy one. Mo, come in, because you haven't. Oh, hold on. Veronica's saying something. What's happened, Veronica? You have to unmute yourself. What's happened?
Right, before we go, people were asking about dress code for Luton Hoop. Is it a dress code?
Oh, Luton who? Mr. It will be a dressy affair. It'll be dress nice. It's a chance to get dressed up. The other one that's the Top Golf is more casual, but Luton who is listen. Wouldn't it be funny for us to all go like, you know, like African attire, like coming to America? That would be hilarious. That would be so funny. Like 75 black people just going in. That would be cool. Anyway, right. So Mo, come in.
Hiya, everybody. Sorry to be late, but better late than never. Right? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much.
One moot.
All right. So one of my people was saying there was a lot of feedback coming over the here. They could hear it through the radio as well. Feedback coming from somebody's mic. Maybe someone's mic was on or something. I don't know. But I just want to say, right, I've been listening to everything, even though I was struggling to get on with the Zoom and what's not. For me, I've been listening to, I haven't been here last week, but from the week before and summing up this week and summing up what I've been hearing so far, is everyone's got different ideals according to where they're coming from in life, how their parents have grown them, how they've learned in school, how they've learned from the media, and what gives them their kind of like helicopter view on our relationship, how people should be in relationships. Some people get on in relationships with, if it's because it's a physical thing they like mostly, and another person would have would like a spiritual person in their life to help them grow, and another person would like all of it. Well, I'm a type of person, I like all of it. Yeah. All or nothing at all. You know, and when I say that, I doesn't mean, I'm not talking from a selfish point of view, because with me, I think everything should come with a sort of like equilibrium in a relationship. When two people with maybe different ideals or different ways of growing who can come together as a compromise and make a relationship work, with having things in common as well to make the relationship work. Yeah, because you can get somebody who was maybe a Buddhist and another one's a Muslim, yeah, but they can compromise even with different ideals of what they believe in, their belief system. So it's all about love, though. See, if you have true love, there's a saying, when you have love, it can move mountains. When you have true love, you can have, if you use in love, and not infatuation, by the way, because infatuation tend to be, can come with narcissistic behavior in a relationship. So the individuals have got to be thinking like one, never the twain again. And so that is the way I think that relationships are built, and that's a solid ground. I'm a single man at the moment. Once upon a time when I was younger, I think from my 40s back to when I was born, I was quite a person in my teens who would be looking for all kind of women. When I reached 25, I was sleeping with all different kind of women. But when I found spirituality and then I started to put God in my life, I found that the way I looked at relationship changed. That means I became a new soul, and I started to want to settle down and be married. I was married for 17 years, and so I wanted to make a commitment to my ex-wife for life and eternity. But I found that within the relationship, we didn't have the things that, away from just, because two people can go to church together, or go to a dance together, or go to a museum together, but if they ain't knitted and tied, it's like one of the ladies was speaking earlier. If one of your partner fell down and if your partner could sex you properly and sex you good, and then all of a sudden they can't use that part of their body anymore, would you leave them? And if you leave them, did you really have really true spiritual love for them? I think spiritual love should come before even physical love, even if you see the person physically first. Yeah, you got to find out about spirituality, and is the love like you're cleaving to each other. Yeah, because when I'm walking down the street, sometimes it's mostly where you can see people. when I'm walking down the street sometimes, I look around me and I see couples walking together. And sometimes you see the man walking in front of the woman, or the woman walking in front of the man. And they're not even sometimes walking close together, so that people can see the harmony and the closeness and the and how their intimacy works, because we on the planet should be examples towards each other, and how a family should be, or a relationship, if you're just a couple without children. Yeah, we should it should be where, if I've got an empress and I'm walking with my empress, and we're walking together, we should have that, the body language. Body language is,
Yeah, I think you're right there, Mo. But I think in terms of where we were the viewpoint where we were speaking from was about the actual attraction, and before we get to that place of being the empress, being that part of the relationship, I think that's we were at that part. And I think when Shalomi was talking about we have to look further, that's because Shalomi had missed out on certain weeks of the show where we had already covered that. So today we were looking at attraction, and we did go off topic. And we were looking at other things in terms of when you're dating, like Leisha had mentioned, that her relationships were a certain way, and Stephen was asking a question. So I think in terms of where you're at, I absolutely agree that we are the examples, but I think that is not the topic that we were actually talking about, and I know that Shalomi threw that out, but that was something that we'd already covered prior in weeks before. But I do want to thank you for your contribution tonight, because like I say, I agree with what you say, but we are actually out of time. So we've gone 1 hour over, and I really have to consider doing this an hour earlier so that we can finish at midnight. Because and the reason being is I'm up early in the morning with morning inspiration. I have a show in the morning, and I struggle on a Wednesday, because as much as you see this and as you guys go to bed, it's not go to bed time for me. It's downloading stuff and getting stuff and being ready and making sure that tomorrow's ready. And so sometimes I don't go to my bed till 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm really going to sit and think. I'm going to have a conversation with my fellow brethren, Mr. Theo. I'm going to have a conversation with you. If you're free tomorrow, I'll have a chat with you and see how we can work this out. I can see that guys are tired. And we also are going to be going back to work. Things are going to be changing. So Stephen's got his hand up. Yeah, so I think, I can't hear you, Stephen. Come in. I can't hear. I know you're saying something.
Sorry, I was just saying I'm working.
Are you?
I'm working every day.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's difficult, right? Is it difficult?
It's challenging, but this is a bit of a, of course, so it's okay.
Yeah, so I think if we tried it from 9 till midnight, we have the extra hour, because we do have things to talk about. It always does go over, and I think that's something that we should do. I know that those who are on YouTube are enjoying it. Sexy Daily says 4 a.m. is a good time, miss. That makes me laugh. Sexy Daily, you are making me laugh. Where is Ruth? Ruth, are you here?
Yvonne, can I say something? Congratulations on your tour and your new show that you've got.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And what I am going to say about the new show, every person here contributes. And so I will be speaking to you individually to have you on the show. We will work out what the show will be about. You might be a part of a panel, you might not be, but I am really thinking about how to, because I remember I said to you before on how I wanted things to be, and I wanted to feed the other show into this and have it kind of like a sister kind of brother kind of cousin kind of show. So there will be lots of relationship topics. It's not a relationship show, but we will be covering relationships. So each and every person who's contributed, I want to thank you, because without your contribution, we wouldn't be here. You know, this is 15 weeks. 15 weeks we've been doing this. And so I think that, you know, every person has got something to contribute, and we are growing, we are striving together. And that's one of the things that I stand by. When I grow, we all grow. When you grow, I grow. And that's this selfish mentality that sometimes people have, we have to let that go and know that we are a people that can strive for greatness, and there's greatness in every single person. On Facebook, on YouTube, in this Zoom room, every single person has greatness in them, and I want to see that grow. That's who I am. That's the job that I do, is helping people to grow. So my thoughts of moving forward on the show is that you guys are going to make the show. That's it. There's content. There's lots of content here, and there's lots of opinions. And so where you don't get to say what you want to say here, the opportunity will be made. And it should start beginning of August. So I want to thank you all for your love. I want to thank you for your dedication. And just say this. I'm going to say this, guys, I need you to pray on something for me. Those of you who've got faith to pray, I have been approached to go to Tunisia for 4 weeks to go and do a piece of work, right? I'm telling you, manifestation is real. Those of you who listen to me in the morning, if you want to manifest stuff in your life, you need to be on my morning inspiration, because it is changing lives. I'm manifesting. I've got 4 weeks. It came to me yesterday, a 4-week gig. Yeah, for 4 weeks in Tunisia, all expensive paid. Good, healthy wages. I need you to pray that that comes to fruition for me. Yeah, just pray that it comes to fruition. And if you're bad mind towards me, know that my Father covers me. The angels surround me. So any bad mind thing you say, it's going to come back on you. I'm just saying. Right, so before anyone want to do that, my grandmother said, before hand go, mill make trash go. That's what my grandmother teach me, telling you. So I'm just saying, I don't believe it's here. I don't believe anybody is like that here, but I'm just saying it, just so that you know, if you say anything bad over me, it's going to come back to you 100-fold. Amen, and so it is. And I've said it. Right, who's the toilet?
Mo, it's Mo.
You know what? Every week, something happens at the end of the show. You got to be. Listen, we've come to the end of the show. We've come to the end of the show. I hope you have enjoyed. Mo? You need to put yourself on silent, darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, silence, babe.
Sorry.
That's all right. Just put yourself on silent, babe. You're all right. You're cool.
Forgive me, people. Forgive me.
You could never script. You couldn't script. You wash your hand. You wash your hand. Come on, ask the question.
And it's been recorded.
You wash your hand.
Mo was telling
everyone.
Oh my
God.
Mo was saying there's feedback. There's so much noise. And then we hear the flush of the toilet. And just put himself on mute.
He washed his hand too quick.
Hands
That was
look
not
dry.
seconds. That was not
Hands look
seconds.
You brush your teeth
twice. Did you see
You brush your teeth
twice?
Listen, guys, we have come to the end of the show. I'm trying to hold it together here. We come to the end of the show. Please do remember to come back next week. We are talking about rejection. It's going to be a deep Stephen has picked up where Tony left off with showing his bits of it. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but it is funny. Anyway, do remember to come back next week.
Thank you, Stephen.
I didn't hear you, Tony.
I said, thank you, Stephen.
We've had a great session. I think we've learned a lot. Can we agree that we've picked up some nuggets tonight? I want to thank you for your honesty and your openness to being vulnerable on here and just speaking your truth. Veronica, what you say?
I hope more they meant to flush this conversation down the toilet. You're trying to tell me something.
Oh, Mo, you have to learn to put it on mute.
Yvonne,
Don't worry,
Tony
I can
at least
abuse.
say something
I can
tonight,
take
please?
abuse, yeah? I'm a man that can take abuse.
But it's
Yvonne,
not really,
Yvonne,
it's
Yvonne,
And we notice
Yvonne,
his hair's
I'm
not
an
where
armor. I'm an armor
Yvonne.
on.
Who's
Guys,
calling? Who's calling? Is that Kelly
can
on?
you please allow Tony to at least speak for 30 seconds, if not
Oh,
1 minute? Not instead of
Do you know what?
Come on, man.
I messaged Tony and said, you're very quiet. Are you all right tonight, Tony? Are you all right?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yvonne, just so you're aware, I raised my hand about an hour ago in the electronic version. So if you look on the electronic, you'll see my hand is still probably raised now. But yeah, you know, I've been here every week, so I have had a lot to say. And I'm just pleased that, you know, everybody's getting their opportunity to say what they want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, I can see the hand now. I didn't actually. Do you know what? You're better off going like that to me. I'll see that more. I didn't see it. So I apologise for that.
Yvonne, can I say something, Yvonne? Can I say something?
Yes,
you forgot about me earlier on as well.
Sorry.
But it's all right. I'm tired anyway. So we can do this next week. Bless you.
Okay, what I'm going to say is, Sheena, get a light, get a ring light as well, because you're quite dark.
Yeah, I've got one, so I'll use it in future.
Yeah, that does help, because when it's dark, it's difficult to see. All right,
Okay.
but no excuse. My apologies, my darling. My apologies.
That's all right, my love.
Listen, Karen was very quiet as well tonight. Yes, but you know what? Everybody is getting a chance every week. Sarah's here. We didn't hear from Sarah, but Sarah came in late. But do come back next week. I was looking for you the last 2 weeks. Where have you been, girl? No, don't worry. Don't worry.
I can't tell you now, because if me tell you that, no, I can't. Honestly, I can't.
It's all right.
I have been here. I've been here in spirit. I've been here in spirit, and I promise to contribute on your next show.
Lovely. Thank you, darling. Thank you. So I just want to thank you all for being a part of today's show. And today it's the energy's been different in the show because we've had different people speaking, which is lovely. So I want to thank each and every one. We've got some new members in the panel. Leisha, it was so good to have you here today. Destiny is so good. I know the tooth is giving you a problem, but it's so good. Faye, so good to have you. Ruth, you've been here every week. Thank you. Stephen, your contribution has been amazing. Tisha, your honesty, your openness, absolutely amazing. Mr. P, you done know. You done know. Kellyon, you done know already. The smile that lights up the room. You done know that already. Sheena, thank you, my darling, for your contribution, for being there every single. And Veronica, let me not forget the lady who is managing the Zoom. She's managing the Facebook and YouTube. So Veronica, thank you, my darling, for your help. And we will be back here next week. Dare I say 9 o'clock? Should we go for the 9 o'clock? Let's go for 9 o'clock. Guys on Facebook, 9 o'clock. Those of you who are on YouTube, 9 o'clock tomorrow, 9 till midnight. Yeah. That's what we're going to, let's give it a go. Yes.
Are we all in together from 9, or is it half?
No, we're all in. Let's go all in. All
okay.
in.
Okay.
Right? Do you think you're happy with that, guys? Everybody in, or do you want to split it?
Everyone in.
Everybody in. We're talking about rejection. So come with your stories and come being prepared to learn and be nurtured. All right. We're going to nurture each other next week, and we're going to help each other to move on and to be able to release some of that pain of rejection. Yes, Tisha.
Can I just say, is there a separate Facebook group or WhatsApp group that everyone's in?
No, there's a messenger group for the women and there's a messenger group for the men. That's
Right, okay.
and it's small.
Okay, so if people want a link to contact you before the show, because
yes, please. Yeah, and those of you who are in the Zoom room, the link will be the same. It will be the same. So you don't need to call me. Those of you who's not in the messenger group. Okay, so Leisha and Sarah and Tisha and Faye. Faye, did I not put you in last week? Maybe who would like to help?
I don't think so. We messaged back and forth, but I don't think I was in the group.
Okay, so maybe, guys, do we need a WhatsApp group? Do we need to do that?
No, because we'll end up getting all sorts of things.
I've got so many groups. No.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just stick with the messenger. And I'll put the link in there. Yeah, and that'd be cool. All right, guys, thank you so much. Those of you on Facebook, thank you for staying with us. I hope you enjoyed the show. Those of you who have never been here before, please tell your friends to come and join the conversation. And yeah, and that would be us for tonight. So thank you, guys. Sending you much love. And I think we're out of Zoom. I think we're out.
Right.
So good night. So you can unmute yourself to say good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
God
bless.
Bye, everyone.
9 o'clock tomorrow.
Bye, Tony. Take it easy.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Yvonne, how do we tune into your show? How do you tune in?
Hey, sister, it's only one flag.
I will send you the link. I will send you
one
the
flag.
link. Morning Inspiration. It's on Instagram and it's on Facebook.
You are my flag.
There's only one flag
in the house.
Got here. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, we're on Medialet Live TV and we are on Love Zone Radio as well.
What
Right,
time?
I'll send it to you now.
Any channels.
What time?
9 o'clock.
Oh.
9 in the morning. You can watch it from your bed. It's all right.
I'll be up. I'm an early riser.
Take care.
Tony, you alright? Oh, you got longitis? Tony, you alright?
I'm good, baby.
Oh, I thought you had large. I thought you were mixed.
No, all good, darling, all good.
Yvonne, like she scored him behind me back. Yvonne scored him. He come in here quiet like a mouse tonight, boy.
No, man. 14, 15 weeks now, you know. Yeah. So I'm just giving everybody a chance. So, you know.
That is true. That is true.
Brother.
It's nice. It's
Next
nice.
weekend, mashing up. Next week, mashing up.
Thank you.
Next weekend, gonna tear it up. Wanna stay there?
Karen, you got on mute yourself.
Yes, honey.
What part of Yvonne, what part of Barbados you from?
We could take this conversation offline, darling.
Yeah, leave her alone now. Leave her alone.
Leave her alone. All right, we were link up on offline.
Yeah.
Yes, lovey.
Because you be still working shift in Barbados.
Yeah.
We've got so many people from Barbados here. Love Barbados.
Barbados is such a lovely place.
We sweet. We
good.
good.
It's lovely. Forget about Luton New. We should be going to Barbados.
We single.
We should.
You pay for us. So once you pay, we will go.
Yeah.
Silence.
Ready.
Airport open the 1st of August.
Is that so?
Well, me and Veronica we not long come back from
Veronica, me and you got the oysters, yeah?
Oh Lord, what do you know about oysters?
I tell you, I've been there before. I've been to Barbados.
Okay.
It's a nice place. Everybody nice there.
True. All right, we'll plan that trip next year.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Good night, everybody.
God bless.
All right, bye.
God bless.
YouTube, good night. Good night, YouTube.
Good night.
Facebook.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.
Ciao. Ciao.
See you in the morning,
Bye.
Yvonne.
Ciao. Ciao. And ciao again.